Hello everybody, welcome back to another Saturday Skin Showcase. I'm your host Hedge, along with my co-host right there, Mr. MICRØ. We have a few groups of skins to look at today, which we'll review from both a gameplay and a Steam market investment point of view. First, we'll take a look at this week's Rust item store rotation, and we'll follow that up with a look at any workshop submissions this week that appear to be viewed as continuations of existing sets. We hope that this information will properly prepare us to make informed investment decisions about both upcoming and existing Steam market items. If you have any insights of your own that you'd like to share, please feel free to contribute to the discussion via Twitch chat, right over there, during the stream, or we welcome you to join our investor community on Discord, linked below in the description. And with that, let us begin. It is February 11th, 2023. It is the Valentine's batch of skins. Mr. MICRØ, lovers in the air, and everyone's pretty in pink. Are you feeling lovely today, good sir?
Love is in the air. My hands are in the air. I'm feeling good. And my toes are in this, embedded in this luscious red carpet we have.
Yes.
It's so good.
You've been absorbed into the heart. I don't think I can pull you back out. It's literally sunk in. Anyway, let's bring back the... Oh, not too late. We'll make night daytime. There we go. Perfect. Right. So, Mr. MICRØ, the Valentine's batch of skins, of course, have been introduced. And I would like to just quickly continue the points that I've said over the past few weeks. That you've got to keep an eye on these Rust skins now, because it does kind of look like prices are starting to go down, so just be a bit cautious. If you also keep checking the likes of the play accounts and whatnot, it's slightly lower than last week, and that's probably going to be a trend throughout this month. We're going to see slowly, little by little, less and less people playing. It does look like the momentum that we've had since post-Christmas is starting to die down, and eventually it looks like all skin prices are probably going to start going down again. But if you've made a whole bunch of sales during all of this time, you have a lot of money to work with. You can buy a whole bunch of cheap skins, and later on in this year, you can sell them for a whole lot more. So with that, Mr. MICRØ, shall we begin? And also, I'm using my new audio equipment today it's the first time for a Saturday Skin Showcase, so I hope that works out perfectly fine. Thank you very much, Mr. MICRØ, for helping me getting all of this set up. Let us begin. Mr. MICRØ, can you roll the blinds down? Because we're starting off with a garage door. Yes.
And what a beauty it is.
Indeed she is. No, not you, her.
Oh.
Right, so this is the Lover's Garage Door. Let's just slowly make it darker. Yeah, or brighter. Guess we can start with brighter. So I did make the joke of Mr. Hewok here has probably made the best Twitch streamer garage door type of skin with the person's face all over it. But nope, this isn't anyone in particular. It's just a cute little Cupid girl. And I'll be honest with you, it's a great piece of art. But MICRØ, are we getting a bit lenient with the designs, it seems? I think we're kind of ending up in that territory, aren't we? Because we used to have rules, didn't we, quite far back? We weren't even allowed to have, like, language, English and whatnot on skins.
And I wouldn't call that quite a rule, but more of a guideline to say, you got to have other things and elements that support the design that aren't strictly just words, because you can't translate that. Once it's in the skin, it's done. But I don't think there's ever been a rule against cute anime girls.
I don't know if this is anime, but I do worry if we're going to start seeing actual anime. I mean, I've just seen CSGO this week. They just added a new case, and they've just added a very anime M4 skin, for example. So I don't know if we're going to end up going that route, but yes, Mr. MICRØ, are you trying to hide from her? Right, so let's just do the old check, and of course, the whole door glows in the dark. So that's something you need to take into consideration. If you walk in front of her, people will notice, and they'll be very angry because you've obstructed the view of her. Don't, MICRØ, don't poke her nose. What are you doing? No, don't pick her nose. It's disgusting. Right, so let's just get a better look at her during the day. Right, so the point that we need to get across is, have you seen how many garage door skins we've had accepted so far this year? Gentlemen, Out of 6 Rust store rotations in 2023, we've had 4 garage doors appear in a Rust store. Now let's also add an extra one, because during the recent charity week we had a garage door that was given away for free. So technically speaking, over the past 6 weeks, we've received 5 garage door skins. Go take a look at all of the other garage doors that came out this year. Yeah, they're all in the negative. They've all started to go down in price. And this is something that we're going to have to be very, very cautious about if we're going to look at this in terms of trying to make an investment for it. This is a $3 skin. Not too long ago, we had the likes of the Dungeon Garage Door, didn't we? And that sold for, $3.49. And the week before that, the Lunar New Year Garage Door, that sold for $3.99. Loads of money has been spent quite recently in garage door skins. And do people really want to buy another? Evidently, this week, a lot of people already have. 2 days in, this has over 18,000 sales. But will this negatively affect every other garage door that might come out this year? And with the current trend, it looks like garage doors are being a bit favorited, I guess you could say. It's a thing that we do have to worry about. Now, let's just quickly roll this up. Immediately go to night time. And as you can remember, the whole thing glows up. Very, very nice. Very handy and very helpful for those that obviously don't have them rolled down during the night time in your base. You can easily spot it, click it, ta-da, and now you've got a lovely image. So just be cautious. Whilst it's a very fun, silly looking skin, we're going to see a whole lot more garage door skins. And with the amount of sales that we could probably expect with this, it's looking to go above 25,000. So be cautious. And with every other garage door skin, they're already in the negative. Will we expect the same for this? 2022, year of the armored door. 2023, year of the garage door. Perfectly said, Mr. Metatron. Perfectly said. So, yeah, maybe that could be the thing. Maybe that could be the thing. Maybe this is the year where we see an abundance of garage door skins. But for now, here's the point. If you like what you see, by all means, buy it, enjoy it, use it. You know, that's fine. But if you're looking at this with the financial perspective, you've got to be cautious. There's very likely going to be even more garage door skins being accepted because, of course, and MICRØ, you'd know this, skin creators are definitely going to keep an eye out and keep track of what skins are being accepted more compared to others. If someone wanted to make a door skin right now, what do you reckon they'd want to make? They'd want to make a garage door skin. Why? Because they're the ones that keep getting accepted. This happened with ponchos last year. They kept accepting ponchos in such a short amount of time. Of course everybody's going to make a poncho skin. And they also sold a lot, so you also have that. So be cautious, be aware, and be prepared. This is the only abnormal skin of the week. So let's just pace ourselves. We'll see how many have sold by Wednesday, Thursday. We'll do our abnormal buy orders, and then we'll make a consideration if we should buy this on Thursday. Sound good? Right. MICRØ, do you have any other words you might want to pass on to this?
I don't have a ton of commentary here. I mean, you talked about it following or not following the rules. I will point out that it does have the appearance of it being able to roll up. So in my eyes, this is like sort of like a mural, like a street art kind of thing that somebody painted up on spray paint.
That was exactly the intended design. If you go to Mr. Hewick's workshop page, it's exactly that. He made like a little picture book story about it. Quite cute,
okay.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I think in that light, I mean, it's if that's the intended design execution, I think it was done very well, and well, it's cute. The only thing I might challenge about it is like the glow, just the fact that it like is just such a strong and like pronounced glow. But honestly, with the amount of stuff that we already have that kind of already mimics this, it's not doing anything new there. It's not like, I guess my commentary that I'm even mentioning right now is speaking towards the idea of like wanting to be stealth inside your base or wanting to, be able to move about in the dark without being spotted. There's the only drawback to this, something this bright otherwise is pretty much a utility function in the game. And, I could see why a lot of people would like it for that. So,
and I'll leave it with the final point.
Well this week.
I'll leave it with the fun. It already is in terms of sales. It already is, but I'll leave it with the final point. I won't be surprised in the slightest if in the future loads of Twitch streamers start to hit up Mr. Hewk and say, "Oh, can you draw me like that for a garage door skin?" Oh, you just know, Mr. MICRØ. You just know. Should I? Should
imagine
I?
that. Imagine that he had a whole series of impressions or caricatures that he did of various streamers in this same style. You know, that could turn into a whole series, you know, if he was working on commission. Oh, I just noticed the little halo up there. That's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. How could you not know that? She's an angel, MICRØ. How could you not notice? All right.
I'll also point out, and that echoes Mr. Metatron in my chat here to say, you know, he really likes the roller glow. This is really one of the best features of a garage door that has glow implemented, to be able to use the rolled up roller as a glow beacon sort of thing inside your base to help with navigation in the dark. Definitely a nice utility function. Not to mention it's kind of cute as it is. But
it's as pink as the candy floss skies I have. Right then, MICRØ.
Wonderful.
We'll end on a sweet note there, and we'll roll on to the next sweet thing, because in front of me right now, what do I see? It's the small chocolate box made by Mr. PYH. I don't know how to pronounce your name. No, I just call him PYH. MICRØ, don't jump near the chocolate. Oh, you could have damaged it. It's a lovely little gift that's been sent to me. I was gifted this, alright? I was gifted this. Someone loves me, see? XOXO.
Everyone type XOXO in the chat if you love Hedge.
Don't start that. Don't start that. But yes, Mr. PYH came in with a very interesting idea, and I think he got it right. I think he got the best idea down. Everybody tends to forget Valentine's, so what do they do at the very last minute? Oh, I'll just go buy the wife some chocolate, that'll do. MICRØ, someone bought me chocolate, and I'll be honest with you, I am more than happy. So, yes, we have this very bright and pink small box right in front of me. And this is something that we'll have to be cautious about. This is actually the least selling skin of the week so far. 2 days in, it's only sold 7,000 skins. Now that, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad. If it doesn't shift that much more, this is actually already at the moment in the lower half for in terms of all the small boxes, this is in the lower half for total estimated supply. And that might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing. Quite clearly, you might look at it and think, well, that clearly shows low demand. But what it also points out is that means it has low excess purchases as well. This might be something you want to put your money towards in the future. But as in a case of, right, do you want to buy these and hold on to them for maybe a year or so? But then there's also the other thing. Out of all of the Valentine skins, this is very noticeably gimmicked for Valentines in terms of it literally says it Happy Valentines. Will that potentially kill off some of the interest? Now let's just make it dark. And as you can see, it is not glow in the dark. How about we use Rust Plus and wha-bam! There we go. It's completely dark. So let's make it a little bit brighter. This is a trend that I have been aware of for every single holiday. When we're not going through said holiday, or when we're not anticipating the holiday, the skins that are themed towards it start to struggle. We saw many of the skins that appeared last year for Valentine's jumping up and really, I'll be honest with you, spiking up in price as we got close to Valentine's. But throughout the year before that, they were struggling. The vast majority of them were below their Rust store price. So this is definitely something that you will have to keep and be aware of. Keep track of is what I'm saying. It's a matter of, honestly, with all of these skins, I don't think any of them are something I want to buy straight. I think I only want to do buy orders on all of them. If I want to buy loads of them, that is the case. But remember, small boxes tend to at least hold their value. They don't really go down in price that much, and they kind of also don't go up in price that much either. But it's definitely if I was to sit here and say, out of all the skins this week, which one at the very least will likely hold its value, it's always usually something like the small box. And remember, at least hold its value. We've got other things to show off, but they have other reasons and factors as to why they might have problems. So, MICRØ, do you happen to have anything that you might want to say in regards to this chocolate box I have in front of me?
Can I have a piece?
No, it's mine. Go away.
I like dark chocolate. So.
You can have the dark chocolate if it has the strawberry cream stuff in it. You're more than welcome. And the coconut. You can have coconut as well.
Yeah, I'm not big on that.
No one is. Oh, anyway. So yep, it's a cool looking box. Perfect idea for Valentine's. But at the moment, I am a bit cautious and I'm just unsure. But we'll leave it at that. And remember, what we see here is also going to affect the likes of Easter skins. What we see... Oh, yeah, we should also show it at night time. So give it a good...
Get it from an angle so you could see, because, you know, he didn't model those little candies or the chocolates up there. So you could see how it picks up the light and there's a bit of texture and dimension to those things. So, you know, worth showing off the attention to detail there.
Here's a true...
all that more delicious.
What's the word? A true delicatessen. He is the artist of the sweet stuff. Good job, Mr. PYH. Yep, that is a $1.49 skin. And as I said, at the very least, I think at its worst, it'll probably only go down by maybe 20%. That's no guarantee, but it's nice and sweet. And maybe that's what you need in your life. Maybe you need to gift it to someone as a joke. No, MICRØ, they're mine. Go away.
So I guess that makes him like a confectionery expert, huh?
Yes. At the moment, oh no, do you remember Christmas time? Everyone was making a sweet treat skin candy. Oh, I don't want to stare at it any longer. We're going to move on to the heart. I don't have the heart for it. Right. So let's just bring this back. Yes. So we'll move on to the next skin, and I was strongly alluding to this skin in regards to Gedgy, don't say stuff like that. Anyway, what I was trying to say is this skin right here has 25,000 sales already in 2 days. 25,000 sales. It might be 26,000 sales now. Chat, could one of you double check and go see if it's gone up to 26 or 27? But what I want to point out is on Thursday, I looked at this and I immediately said, right, guys, we don't see that many rug skins being accepted. So let me just move back and let's get a good overhead view of this. We do not see that many rug skins being accepted. On average, we see maybe 2 accepted a year. Last year, we had the likes of the From Hell... No, go away, Cupid, go away. You don't even have a bow and arrow. What are you doing? Go away. Oh dear, now I'm all wobbly. Look what you've done to me. Anyway. No, I'm still wobbly. Oh, what have you done? I'm all wobbly. There we go. I've gained my... MICRØ. Anyway,
control and all keys there. Just
stop listening to your chat. They're trying to be disruptive on purpose. But yeah, first of all, let's just quickly point out this does not glow in the dark. All right, ta-da! This does not glow in the dark. The benefit of the From Hell rug that we saw appear for Halloween last year, it looked really cool. And a lot of people realise, you know what, I could cover my entire base in this and it'll look as if I'm part of like a strange cult. Basically, a glow-in-the-dark rug is also very helpful to have on your ceilings and whatnot in regards to it'll help you navigate around your base because it glows in the dark, you don't need lighting and whatnot. However, this does not have glow-in-the-dark. However, in 2 days, this has already matched up to the amount of sales that the From Hell rug had. So, what is the popularity behind this? What I'm led to believe is a lot of people probably realise, you know what, this is probably really exploitable. I could cover this in certain places and make a real joke out of it. You could have a very strange man take off all his clothes and walk around it and pretend he's Cupid. You could cover your entire base in hearts. You could make a real joke out of it. I guess that's probably the feeling. That's the intrinsic usage. But the extrinsic view is mostly probably down to the fact that people are more than aware that we're very likely not going to be seeing many rug skins being accepted this year. And that is partly the factor as to why all of the rug skins right now are in the positive. Go take a look for yourself. Even the likes of the Easter rug is still doing good. And that, for the majority of last year, wasn't doing very good. But we're also getting close to Easter. But you get the idea. This right here, it's a heart. It's not like blatantly Valentine's. No. It's literally just a heart. So, MICRØ, in terms of what you think, what would you do with this if you could think of a fun idea? What would you do? Would you put it like... Go on.
I'd build a 1x1. I'd put a stone fireplace and this rug in it, and it would be like my chill spot. My safe place.
You could make a stone cube, and you could make a weighted companion cube. Well, there you go. There you go. So this is made by Mr. Just Mouse, and well, he's gonna made a lot of money with this because yeah, 25,000 sales already. So let me just point out, the Hell rug, the From Hell rug had like 28,600 sales. Yeah, we're definitely beating that. And we have to be cautious about oversaturation. What is the quantity versus the demand? A lot of people probably bought this for themselves to use, but I get the feeling a lot of people probably bought this for the idea of potentially making a very quick buck or two. A lot of people think, oh yeah, surely this is going to be very easy money. Well, if far too many people think like that and buy far too many of them, well, this heart's definitely going to probably blow up and it's probably going to go down in price too much. It's something we really do need to be cautious about. It's not abnormal. There's only one skin this week that's abnormal. We already mentioned it. Keep track of it and then make a decision. At the moment, I really do think I'm probably just going to do a buy order on it. Or at the very least, wait until Thursday, then make the purchase. Keep an eye on the amount of that appear within 2 days. If it's too much, I'll refund the purchase I made. That's probably the absolute safest thing you could do. God, where'd that come from? My heart just skipped a beat. Right, so Mr. Meta said MICRØ's 1x1 stabbing cabin. Thank you very much, Mr. Meta. Thank you. What a wonderful idea.
Hedge, what happens in the stabbing cabin stays in the stabbing cabin, okay?
I think we need to move on. So, yep.
And 1x1 is all the space we need. We'll put it that way.
I'll throw you overboard here in a minute. Right, so those are all the deployables this week. Keep track of them, but by all means, I honestly wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if all three of them go below the rust or price. Right. Mr. MICRØ, let's start talking about weapons. In my hands right here, I have the Infinity Love Sap. Get a good look at this. This is the first semi-automatic pistol skin to be accepted this year. Very nice. As you can see, we've got a lovely few words there. Love you forever. Yes, very nice. You've got some wings on the tip. And you can see that properly, the name. I love you forever. Aww. Bang, 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 bang. Right, let's go get a good look at Mr. MICRØ. How about we make that sky ever so lovely and... it could be a bit more pinkish. You've got a pink moon in the background there. Shoot that moon, MICRØ. Go on, bang, shoot, shoot. Oh, we've probably got a different...
I only had 2 bullets.
Oh. Anyway, so let's get up real close and get a good look at that. Yes. It's full of love. It's got the hearts as the O's and the X and the O. Yep. So this is something that we need to talk about. Sap skins. We've just gone through some very nice times in terms of skin prices being very high. And a lot of people were selling their skins. A lot of people were buying skins. But with the likes of Sap skins... Oh, Mr. MICRØ, it seems we've made a bit of a turn there. Oh, I know I've just turned... That wasn't on purpose. That was... I don't know what that was, but yeah, let's just get a good look at this on the side. Yep. So, yeah, Sap skins, from what I could see, the vast majority of them only barely just got back up to their rust ore price when times were good. This is really weird, because I know Sap skins, Saps do get used quite a lot. The gun demand isn't necessarily an issue. Maybe it's a problem with people probably don't care enough about all the newer skins. Maybe people only want to use the likes of the... old skins that have the glow-in-the-dark aim sights, Mr. MICRØ. But, yeah. And now we've got a very gimmicky skin that's full of hearts, and it's all for Valentines and whatnot. I just don't know. I don't think this is going to be super appealing for everybody throughout the year. And do you honestly think this is the only sap we're going to get? No, we're definitely going to get a lot more. We're definitely going to get a lot more saps later this year. You just wait. So, maybe this is the one you might skip. But if you feel like a lovely fella or you just need to spread some love, Load up your love gun and start shooting away. Hello, Mr. Apple. Okay, Big Baby Lemma says, I like that sap, but it's a sap. What do you mean by sap? What's wrong? You got to explain more. If you've got an opinion, by all means, sit there and explain it, Mr. Big Baby Lemma. It's a very silly thing to say. Mr. MICRØ, do you have any words? Not the worst, but far from the best. Okay, that's all right. Mr. MICRØ, what about your opinion? What are you doing? What are you spinning around for?
I'm inspecting it in first person here just to kind of catch some light on the hearts. It's got sort of a cool, like, shine on some parts of it. I don't hate the gun. I mean, it's nice to see another creative design that comes up and, you know, does a little something for a theme. So it's not always easy to get something, an idea really put together to fit the theme. It's like we see a lot of the same cliche kind of stuff. And yes, this has some hearts and whatnot, but it's also fairly unique, I would say. So from that respect, I kind of think it's cool.
I wouldn't say no, but you do look a bit silly with a heart gun. Right.
Well, it's not going to be so funny when you're laying on the ground and I'm going through your inventory, huh?
Well, earlier you were all lovey-dovey, and now don't you dare. Not now. No. Ooh. If you're going to do it, I was going to beat you to it. Right. Let's move on to the next weapon. So, just to point out, Infinity Love, made by Andre. Right, moving on to the next weapon, we have a very bright pink and a bit of a heartbreaker. It is the Kiss AR, made by GBG. So let's get a good look at that. A very nice dark pink tip right there. Very nice. Give that a good reload. So yeah, one point I definitely wanted to bring up. The fact that this got accepted kind of doesn't surprise me because we'll show you in a minute. Lovestruck was accepted this week as well. So maybe they thought, you know what, let's go put out a big pink AK to pair up with the pink full collection that we now have. So yeah, I feel like that's a welcome addition simply because Lovestruck literally came out with it. But again, this is an AK. It's another AK MICRØ, and someone made a joke earlier about how we had loads of armored doors for 2022 and garage doors for 2023, and then someone else made a second joke, AK for 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 2023, 2024, 2025, forever and ever and ever. Why did he say that joke? Simply put, we've had 6 Rust rotations so far this year, and we've had 4 AKs being accepted. The problem with AKs persists. We get far too many of them accepted. We are oversaturated with options. Yes, this is bright pink and colourful. We can at least give it that. It's different. It stands out. It's unique compared to many of the other ones that we see. However, do you want to run around with a big pink gun? I get the feeling a lot of people might want to, purely for the joke of it. But if you really were to try hard and whatnot, this is a very noticeable gun, isn't it, Mr. MICRØ? Pink does kind of stand out in most environments, doesn't it?
Yeah, it stands out, but not everything is about blending in. Sometimes you want to stand out.
I want to be seen. I want to be pretty in pink is what you need to say. Now say it, Mr. MICRØ. Say you want to be pretty in pink.
I want to run around and dominate some kids with this AK, and then get them all mad when they get smoked by a heart gun.
Right. Get a better look at you. Right. Okay, sorry. I something was wrong there. Right, let's get to the other view and let's give it a look. Right. Yes. So, chat, do you approve? Is this the AK that you need? Is it the AK that you deserve? Do you want to say yes? Do you want to give it a kiss? What do you think? In terms of an investment, unfortunately, I fully expect many, many more AKs to be accepted. Last year, we had 27 out of, 52 weeks? I wouldn't be surprised if we probably match up or even beat that number in 2023. Do you love it? It loves you. MICRØ, any final words before we move on to the next thing?
I like that it has the graphic on the operator's side, but and I think when I put it on my back, it's also face out so you can see it.
Yeah.
I will say that it looks a little plain on the other side on the ejector port side, but no one really sees that quite so much anyway. I mean, you only see it from third person, and it's not like it's totally bare. You know, there's some stuff on there. So
Lots of hearts and kisses.
yeah, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next weapon then. We have... Wrong way round. We have a Love Deluxe Mp5 made by... How do you pronounce this name? L4FER. Is it Lifer?
I think so, probably.
Lifer. We'll refer to him as Lifer. If that's not how you pronounce it, I'm very sorry. But, yeah, we'll refer to him as Lifer. So, Lifer has produced this MP5. Get a good look at that. Got all the paw prints with the multiple colours. Nice big hearts. Nice usage of the pink. Nice stripy design on the top. Yep. Pretty much your usual expected Valentine skins. Pink and full of hearts. And Mr. MICRØ, do you feel in love with this gun? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, it is an MP5, and MP5 is a bit off meta right now.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that doesn't mean that couldn't ever change. So you know, we can't judge it solely by its position in the meta because, you know, we don't know what the future holds. So it's a little, it's unfair to judge it based on that. So now judging it based on anything else, stylistic wise or whatnot, I like the colors. I like it's got, you know, the pink or I don't know, magenta on the black base down there. But I don't quite understand the paw prints motif.
I don't either. Someone in the chat kind of quite literally pointed it out. Furry bait. Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. Hey, I didn't think of that, but I'll give it a point for catering to furry love.
Hey,
maybe that's what it's supposed to be here.
Maybe it's just
equal representation. It's 2023. You know, we gotta embrace everyone.
Now I'm worried we've turned this into. I'm just.
This is an all inclusivity stream, Hedge.
Well, so
furry positivity stream. Did I go too far?
You need to put your wolf headdress on if you're going to start talking like that, all right? Okay, so, yep, bright pink, but as Mr. MICRØ said, it's soft meta at the moment, unfortunately. So, lower usage, aka lower gun demand, equals lower demand to use the skins, which of course leads to lower skin prices. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this goes close to down to $1 after about a week or two. It is unfortunate, but it is the expectation. Like, will it bounce back up again at some point ever? Well, maybe, fingers crossed, we'll have another recall update and they revert the MP5 back. Because let me point this out to you. Last year, MP5 skins were very high in demand. They were very much exactly equal to Thompson skins. So if you've seen the state of Thompson skins at the moment, have you seen how good they're doing? MP5 skins used to be exactly the same. But then they did the recall update. Thompson, didn't change that much. That MP5, unfortunately, lost its place. People didn't want to use it anymore. And they all got thrown in the bin, essentially. And that is why, if you were to go look at all of the MP5 skins that came out in 2022, the only one that's in the positive is the Blackout one. And that's part of the Blackout collection, which also has the cut-off panels. So it's extra special in a different way. So yeah, this is just pink, colourful, and good for furries apparently. So if you like that, if you do like that, then by all means buy it, use it, enjoy it. But if you're thinking, should I buy this for a financial investment? I wouldn't. I'd rather just do a buy order. And at the very least, I think it's going to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. And I'm not even surprised if it's going to be exactly that. It very much looked like that is going to be what's going to happen. People will probably just turn it into metal, or it'll be close to the price of metal, and that's that. MICRØ, any other words before we move on to the next one?
Nope. I kind of said my thing already, and I'm content with that, so we can move on.
You didn't say uwu. I'm not. We're not going that far. All right.
You know what I'll do is I'll display it on my shoulder here, so you can just see it from the third person.
Yep, let's get a good look at that. So you can see it all on the side with all the hearts. Look up that was a joke I was doing for the Valentine skin checks. Everybody was writing love literally on the skin itself, so I was just like reading it out like very phonetically. Look up right. Thank you very much, Mr. MICRØ, for your lovely, lovely looking back. And now we're going to talk about the LR300 of the week. It is the lovely, lovely LR. Or rather, just the lovely LR. Lovely LR. That's it. Right, so let's get a good look at that. Yep, we got loads of hearts all over it. Pink and gold. Aim down. Very nice. Give it a old quick reload. And very good. Yep, you got a heart on the back. Yes. Spread the love. And destroy the clouds. And Mr. MICRØ has... Oh, he disappeared. You right there, MICRØ?
I was looking to find some
clouds.
any way to make the light even brighter, because I just can't see anything reflection-wise off this front sight post. It's completely black.
So as you mentioned, the month changed in the server, right? So, yeah, it shifted for me, of course. So... Let's just get a good look at you at night time to begin with, or maybe a little bit of that. And yes, the mood is right. The colours are bright. It is the lovely LR. Get a good look at this. Right, so you got loads of hearts in like sticker fashion. Yep, so very dark pink there. We got the gold trim. We got the, I'd say, wallpaper heart design. It's kind of like very... what's the word? Rolled on, I guess you could say. What's the term? So you know, 3D texturing. You know how you can easily just texture something by just slapping it on. What was the term for it? This is from my knowledge because I've done it all before when I was younger, back in university. Oh, this is going to bug me now. I should have asked this to you before. How do you dynamic? No. Oh, this is going to bug me. But don't worry, it's not super relevant. Unfortunately, LR300 skins. Go take a look at them right now. Are any of them in the positive? Any of the skins that came out in 2022 in the positive? No. The only one is Redemption, only by about 10%. Because unfortunately, people just don't like using the LR300, it seems, or rather, not enough to keep up the demand for skins. And this is, this is something that's not new to us. It's always been like that, unfortunately. Maybe they need to buff up the LR. Maybe they need to nerf the AK-47. But at the moment, there's just no demand for all the new LR300 skins. And that means, unfortunately, it's definitely looking like a situation where we're just going to only offer 70 to 90 cents. Mr. MICRØ, if you'd like to offer any opinions. But yeah, I'm just not super confident with it, unfortunately.
I don't have a ton to add. I mean, I guess I understand that why the LR is a bit less in demand. I mean, just from the gameplay perspective, at least over years past, it wasn't regarded as a particularly favorable gun. People had a lot of self-respect and ego around their AK spray, and like maybe the LR didn't get practiced as much. I mean, it certainly has less damage per shot. I do believe overall it has a similar DPS, but it is a little bit less. But it's just, you can't craft it. So it's just fundamentally a different type of has a different presence in the game than the AK does. So you could attribute it to that. I'm not quite sure why people don't like it. I mean, I think it was regarded as a bit easier to shoot back in the day. These days, I think it's about the same, but as the AK, I mean, yeah, I really don't know. I mean, it's probably just, it sees less rotation and players have less exposure to it overall. So maybe they're just not as familiar with it. Remember, it's not always easy to get tier 3 weapons, let alone stuff that drops in military crates and elite crates. So,
yep, it's all going to affect gun demand, and that leads to affecting prices. So, like I said, if you do like it and you do want to use it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it. However, with a financial perspective, I think I would rather just do a buy order, and that honestly looks to be the case. I think that is my answer for that. So, yeah, and this would apply to any other LR300 in the future. Until we see some changes where the likes of the LR300 probably gets a buff, I think this is the unfortunate future for pretty much every LR300 skin that ever gets made. So, yeah, kind of weird that it has a different heart pattern on the front than the back. Oh yeah, it's a bit worn. It is a bit more worn out. Did you notice that, MICRØ? Darker here.
I didn't look really close at it. I mean, it definitely has some distressing on it.
Maybe it's just worn out because it's a lot more hotter where the bullets come out. Could be. Could be.
I mean, I see some edge wear up on the front, especially on the attachment rails, on the front sight post area. I see some what looks like edge wear around the ejector ramp.
I think
some of this also looks like it's just trim, like accents that are on here. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question correctly, but I guess I do see a little bit more edge wear on that front portion, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
I was actually reading a question.
A little exaggerated.
There's a question from chat. Yeah. I've been speaking them all out, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much. We're not going to buy it. So yeah, like investment wise, it's not something I'm looking towards. So Mr. MICRØ, shall we wrap this up with the? Well, it's time for some love, Mr. MICRØ. Better get a change on. It's time to unveil the Lovestruck collection. The final core piece is here, gentlemen. Mr. MICRØ. Put it on. Put on the pretty clothes, Mr. MICRØ, the pretty armor.
All right, let me put my gun away, and then I'll get gussied up here for you for our big Halloween date.
Dun 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 dun. I believe in miracles. So where you from? You sexy fan. Do you know what you need to do? Could you whip out the AK? Does it work well with the tier 2 and the pink? All the pink, Mr. MICRØ. So, gentlemen...
I'll give it a shot.
Yep. So, gentlemen, what we have here is the final core piece of... Oh, it does. I think that does a pretty good job matching up with it. Maybe it's a little bit brighter. But if you're going to go pink, like all pink with that, I don't think people are going to be really that fussed. But anyway, it gets a good look at the tier 2 armor. We've got the kilt. We've got the road sign vest, and we've got the coffee can. Mr. MICRØ, don't you look pretty in pink? Look at that smile. He's smiling behind that tee-hee. Right. So he's got a little heart on top. He's doing a little spin around. Yep. So, of course, he's also wearing his hoodie and pants with it. And, Mr. MICRØ, do you happen to have the tier 3 on hand as well? Because
I do have it in the box over here, I think.
That's fine. You do indeed, because we showed it off last week, didn't we? What I mean by core piece, it's a terminology I talk about, especially in regards to investing. We now have the very best of the complete setup. I mean, we kind of don't have gloves and boots just yet, but the main core pieces are usually the tier 3, consisting of the face mask and the chest plate, the hoodie and the pants, and then the kilt. The kilt is the most important piece of the tier 2 armor. This tends to, and usually does, get the most purchases compared to all the other tier 2 armors, because of course, it's the only leg armor that we have. And with that, of course it's going to sell more compared to the other tier 2 pieces. So, we now have the full collection. Gentlemen, right here in front of you, you have a man that is fully in pink. What do you say? Do you approve of what you see? Do you want to wear this? Maybe as a try-hard, probably not, because I'm pretty sure this is going to stand out in probably every single environment. Isn't it, Mr. MICRØ?
You know how I could picture a good meme with this, like me and the boys showing up to the raid, and it's like a Zerg, like a scrap helicopter full of guys dressed in Valentine's in Lovestruck gear.
Yes.
Maybe a couple egg suits mixed in.
So this is exactly that. I honestly looked at this and thought, I get the feeling that this really might become a bit of a meme skin in terms of a meme setup. How annoying is it if you had multiple people attacking your base and they're dressed up as this? Like, now if only you could paint the helicopter pink as well. These people right here, the pink devils with their bases covered in heart rugs, are going to take over the entire server and spread the love. Yes, they are. So you're going to be struck with it. What we have here is a full pink collection. It is now complete, but we do have to be a bit cautious in regards to the tier 2 armor. You're going to question, right, so does that mean tier 2 armor? Is it easily going to go up in price? Is it a great investment? Well, here's the problem. Hoodie and Pants came out first, right? Wonderful. Next year, the tier 3 came out. What happened when that happened? Mr. MICRØ, you can spin around if you want. What happened with regards to that? Well, we saw a spike in demand, and we saw a spike in price. And then that Valentine's came and went, prices did go back down again, and after Halloween, the tier 3 armor did in fact go down in price. Stop shaking your tush and mush around. Anyway, the tier 3 armor did get cheap. It went down to about 70 cents each at one point. I think it went even lower. And the point I'm trying to make is the tier 3 armor did rise up in price in anticipation for Valentine's, and yes, we of course now have the tier 2 armor, and we did see a lot of sales happening. Tier 3 is in a bit of a weird position. Hoodie and Pants sold about 22,000 sales each. The tier 3 sold 29,000 plus each. At the moment, the tier 2 has sold 12,000. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if with the tier 2 we end up with about 20,000 sales. This means, in the grand scheme of things, the tier 3 is likely going to be the one that's going to be the cheapest out of the lot because there's an excess amount in comparison to all of the other pieces. Remember, 22,000 for Hoodie Pants, a projected amount in regards to, with tier 2 we're expecting about 20,000 as well. That means tier 3 probably has an excess amount of about 7,000 each for both the face mask and the chest plate. And that excess is going to be on the Steam market, on the third-party sites. Do you understand? So, yeah. The kilt might be something that would probably be a very good long-term investment. I don't think it's going to jump up in price like super quickly. But in the long term, it might be something to keep an eye out for. Remember, exactly what Mr. MICRØ said, it probably, and just to jump from that, so I'm basing from what he talked about, it only takes one big YouTuber or one big streamer to get his whole squad, his whole clan, to dress up in Lovestruck and start attacking everybody, and then suddenly everybody else wants to do it as well. Suddenly everybody buys out the Lovestruck. Suddenly everybody starts to be really annoying, fully in pink and whatnot. What else is there to say? I think we got everything across. So be cautious. We saw the spike up in price for the likes of the Hoodie and Pants and the tier 3 when the tier 2 appeared. But what's next? What's going to potentially cause the tier 2 to jump up in price next year? We might get gloves and boots maybe, but gloves and boots don't necessarily cause a huge spike or as much of a jump in demand and price with the likes of other core pieces. This is something I've kept track of over the past year and plus and forever pretty much. So, but very noticeably for the past year. I think it's just going to slowly trend upwards. And I really don't think we're going to have a stupidly high amount of them either. So everything's looking okay. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they do go below their restore price for a while. The influences of YouTube and streaming, we shall see. MICRØ, is there any words you might want to sit there and say in regards to what you're wearing, or is that it?
No, other than Hedge, when you play with someone and they log off first and you can dress them up however you like. This is the kind of thing that I might swap out my teammate's kit for one of these, rescan it for him just as a favor, because
it's a big shame that the Naughty Lover clothing wasn't accepted this week, because that would have been the perfect thing for it.
yeah, that could definitely work for that.
So
I could see that.
Quite unfortunately, this was the only clothing and armor skins to be accepted this week. There were some very interesting options. Oh, Mr. MICRØ, we definitely know that. We showed them off video last week. Naughty Lover collection. There was the the nice pink, brighter pink set that Jimmick made. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Wings something, not Wings of Love. We also did have the Wings of Love jacket, which we showed off last week, but nope. The only clothing and armor is the Lovestruck. I fully expected it to happen based on the fact that the Tier 3 sold so much last year, and of course seems to be a trend of every Valentine's we're going to have a Lovestruck skin. So let's see what Bad Trip does next year. Is it going to be a weapon? Is he going to make gloves and boots? We'll find out, but wouldn't be surprised if we see another Lovestruck skin next year. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets accepted as well. Hazy said, I've got to head out. No worries, Hazy. Thank you for turning up. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, so let's just see what happens. At the moment, I'm probably only going to stick with a buy order on this. Mr. MICRØ, you have no more words to say? Do you reckon that's a wrap then for this week's Rust Store skins? Gentlemen, we hope you enjoy your Valentines. We hope you enjoy your Valentine skins. Do you like dressing up in pink? You tell me. You show it. Enjoy it. That's it. But in terms of investing into it, yeah. If you invested into the likes of the hoodie and the pants and the Tier 3 just before Valentine's, good job. If you're like me, I did that. And I believe for every single skin I bought, especially with the clothing, so the hoodie and the pants, I must have at the very least tripled my money. And unfortunately with the Tier 3, as I said, with the excess amount, because there's so much of it in circulation, it didn't go up in price as much. And that's very likely going to be the cheapest part of the core pieces from now on. So yep, that's all, that's it. That's done. We're all good. Wave goodbye. No, we're going back. What's wrong? Oh, you're going by. All right, bye. Right, now we've got workshop skins to show off. Workshop continuations. Mr. MICRØ, Gav yourself. Maybe you want to change your clothing, unless you do enjoy dressing up in pink. Because now we have a lovely batch of workshop continuations to talk about. But not just yet with the weapons. We have to start off with the deployables. Mr. MICRØ, let us begin. Right, so to start off with, we have a version 2 of the Cargo Heli vending machine. It was a good few months ago, right, Mr. MICRØ, where we had the likes of the version 1 appearing, and we talked a lot about its gimmick of the see-through mesh. Mr. Vlek has made quite a lot of Cargo Heli skins. You might be fully aware of the likes of the small box, for example. Well, he thought, you know what, couldn't hurt to try and get a vending machine accepted. He put it out late last year. Unfortunately, it was not accepted. But you know what? He came back to it and thought, I could give this a second chance. So yeah, locker skin. Sorry, I got that mixed up. Vending machine skins. We have not seen many of these. We've only seen them during Christmas time over the past 2 years. So last Christmas and the Christmas before that. A bit odd. I don't know why it's that way, but maybe this could be the one. Maybe this could be the next vending machine to be accepted that isn't out during Christmas time. Now, of course, let's just make it dark. Yes, it stands out very nice and bright. Wouldn't you like to walk up to this during the night time and try and see what you can buy with your few pieces of scrap? Don't worry, he's nice and secure. The little man over there, Juggernaut, he's nice and secure. I called him a Juggernaut. That's from Call of Duty, don't worry. But yeah, that's so nice. Mr. MICRØ, shall we actually pull this out and show it off so we can see the back as well? Do you want to just kind of drag it out with your strong muscles, good sir? I can quickly just tab out, scroll down there, and yep, that's good. Wonderful. So yeah, we also have another to take a look at, but we'll sort that out in a minute. So yep, let's just get a good look on the sides. So we've got a lovely few pieces of like some stickers there. Look, aren't they all lovely? You got like some little picture there. Little fun pictures here. Very nice. Very cute. Ah! And then at the back. Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Yep, so you got like the special lock code there. Do you know the code? Do you remember the code? Oh, oops. Oh, MICRØ, could you pull these out and make them a little bit further away from this? I'm a bit stuck. Not as much room. What I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, I should have put them a little farther out.
Yeah, no worries. But I think we got the general idea here, and you could do it for the second vending machine if you want. You could do that right now if you want. But yeah, the sides don't really light up that much, but the back does. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. It doesn't really matter too much on the sides because usually Did you just break it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yep. So, yep. Cool. Thank you very much. So, yeah. Doesn't matter too much to have light, glow in the dark on the sides, because usually you have it between the. I'm very sorry to say, Mr. MICRØ. What is the door hole called? The door hole wall. What do we refer
The
to?
door hole wall. Wait, so when you're talking about the construction piece, that would be like a wall frame.
Wall
Or,
frame.
well, actually, no. For just a single short sheet or a single entryway, it's just called a doorway.
Doorway. There we go.
Talking about one of these bad
Yeah,
boys?
yeah. Oh, we don't have these in England. Yeah, so yeah, we just have. I'm just gonna move on. So yep, this could potentially be appearing in a Rust door rotation near you. Please consider voting yes or no in the workshop. Do you approve of this, chat? Is this something that you'd like to see, Mr. MICRØ? Do you have any opinions yourself?
It's pretty cool. I'd like to say it's pretty cool. I think he did a good job recreating some of the assets from the game, like this military crate and these little tiny elite crates down here. They're not true to the proportions of the game, but that's fine. We get the point. I think it looks cool. He definitely reused some artwork that's found on elsewhere in the game, and it definitely fits the collection. All the style and everything matches up just right. So he's got some little welding details around. It's got a cool glow. If you look at that at nighttime, the fluorescent light lights up pretty nicely. That the baked light is pretty well done. So I think it's definitely a cool looking skin. And if you're a fan of the Cargo Heli collection, or am I saying that right?
Cargo Heli. It is called Cargo Heli. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yep. Then this certainly would be on your to get list, I think.
Right. Do you want to flash your light at it?
Nice implementation of the see-throughness, by the way, as well, where it shows through enough to where, you know, you can get the idea that it's transparent, but it's not like it totally kills your, you know, you can't just see right through it. You know, it's not like it's highly exploitable. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not like you can see what's inside it and try and grab it.
Yeah, like a claw machine or something like that. Yeah.
We really should have a claw machine in Rust. I'm telling you, that would be a great money maker.
Yeah,
oh,
maybe that's a good idea for like a fridge skin.
Actually, we should probably point out it's that fun week where the developers just come up with wacky ideas, isn't it? Oh, damn it. We've got to tweet them. Hey, could you make a claw machine? Oh, come on, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect for Bandit Camp. You would love that. Don't disagree. All right. Shall we move on to talking about the other vending machine? So you can destroy that one if you want. Don't worry, it's not about favoritism. It's just just give us the space. Goodbye. Right, yes. So, following that, we do actually have a second option. We have right in front of me a continuation of the military collection. What we have right here is well, technically speaking, it's called the modern military vending machine. So, give me some space, and yes. Gentlemen, would you like to get your gun supplies right here? The military is there for you, with the latest, up-to-date, perfect weaponry at your disposal for a perfectly fine fee. We have the modern military vending machine all in right here in front of you. Do you like what you see? How about we make it dark? Come on, darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm here to sell you guns again. Right. Yep. So, doesn't look like it's glow in the dark, this one. As in the actual skin itself. The lights do, stick out, but yeah, you get what I mean. Right, Mr. MICRØ, would you like to use the power of your light and we can take a look at this? So, yeah. I should also point out to you, military collection's been around since, what, 2020? Does it go as far back as 2019? But anyway, this is the first deployable. First deployable to be made, I believe. I'm not sure. Did we have a garage door made? I can't remember. MICRØ, where are you? Is he disappeared?
I'm right here.
Could you use your... yes, perfect.
Oh, sure. I didn't realize you had it nighttime. My bad.
Yep.
A lot of depth, a lot of texture on this, a lot of
I can see it.
military kind of theme-ish kind of stuff on there. It definitely fits as an extension of the collection for sure.
It's not super colourful, but it's perfectly like on brand for what they designed. So this is made by Robstar and Diaz. Perfectly on brand for what they want their military collection to be. We've had many weapons and many clothing and armor pieces, but this right here, the whole like way they've designed it and whatnot, it's perfectly in tune with all of that. So I'm not surprised with the way it looks. And as I said, perhaps, this might be a good moneymaker. Vending machines, we don't see that many of them, but the only ones we've seen recently are Christmas themed, and the very second it's not Christmas anymore, they go down in price that much. So I would like to see another non-holiday related vending machine to be accepted, just so I can get a good idea if they're good investments or not. It would be very nice. That is some very weird shadows. Right then, MICRØ, shall we move on to talking about some doors? You may destroy this one.
Sounds good.
The destructive touch.
I'm looking at the little detail here of like the ammo chain hanging out of the dispenser slot, or the, I don't know what that is, but it's
Bandolier.
like yeah, I mean you have ammunition that comes in like these long chain linked sections. I'm not sure if that's the right term for it, but you would, just like when you reload the M2, you have this like chain of ammo, this belt, an ammunition belt that comes out. So that's pretty cool. And then I like that he put like the grenade F1 on there with the AK and the rocket launcher. That's pretty cool. Little incorporation of some like Rust assets that we're all familiar with, and definitely a cool looking skin. I approve.
Now destroy. Yes. All right. So talking about expensive, Mr. MICRØ, stop worrying about it. Mr. Tricks, what have you done? How did he source all of this gold to be able to make this door, MICRØ? How has he achieved this? I don't know how, but yes, it's the continuation of the gold collection. A good, 5-6 months ago, we had the armored door, and then a short time after that, we had a gold large box. Well, now we've moved on to garage door. I told you, if people are going to make a new skin, if they've already got a popular collection, if they were to pick a new skin to make that was a door, they're going to pick garage door. And look at that. We've got a solid gold one now, and now that's probably going to get accepted. And then we're going to have another garage door accepted. And then we've got too many garage doors in such a short amount of time. I'm starting to get annoyed, but this is cool. I will point this out. This is very cool. First of all, does it glow in the dark? It does not. Right, but we can get the lighting on it. So, Mr. MICRØ, if you're going to go give it a nice quick shine.
You can move your camera around and work that reflection a little bit and show off like the little swirl marks and the, like, I don't know if that's like a bit of ripple introduced maybe by the casting process, but if you look at a piece of gold bullion that's poured, you'll see a lot of those same little variations, and they might be like, when a metal forms, they form into like little domains, they call it, where the crystalline structure is aligned in different parts of the material. That could be part of this too. I mean, I'm not sure he went that deep with design, but I'm just talking about the little surface striations that you'll see on a piece of gold bullion. I think he did that really well. This isn't just like your run-of-the-mill workshop skin where they've turned the glossiness up to 11 and just made it kind of yellow color. Like, this is actually pretty nicely finished in terms of getting those little swirl marks and the scratches and the stuff in the gold, which is a very soft metal and is easy to scratch. So I think this actually looks pretty cool, and
it does look like it can fold as well. It does look like it can fold.
Like it rolls up, and it might look like a simple skin, but it's actually, from a technical level, it's got a little bit more in there when it comes to that that texture that's on there. So I think it looks pretty cool. Well done.
So I did reference the fact that garage doors, we've been seeing a lot of them being accepted this year. MICRØ, I did turn the lights on. I should point that out to you, just so I could get a better look at it during the night time. So we've seen a lot of garage door skins being accepted in such a short amount of time. And I should also reference the fact that this already has 2 skins that have been accepted, which I did allude to. The armored door It's like half the value of what it originally sold for. It was a $4 skin, it went down to $2 because there's too many of them. As we made a joke about earlier, in 2022 we had far too many armored door skins, and in 2023 it looks like we have far too many garage door skins. But that very likely could be something that we'd have to be cautious about if it were to be accepted. But what we did also have is the minted gold large box. That right now is selling for $10. That went up by 3 times its value. So this collection is a little bit weird, but in its behaviour, not in terms of its design. Like, look at it, it's pure gold. How could you not want that? Well, bam! If you really want to show off your wealth, ta-da! Wouldn't be surprised if that sells for $4 in the Rust store if it was to be picked. So, Tricks, best of luck to you. But what we should also do, Mr. MICRØ, so we should also just get a good look. Turn the lights off. Mr. MICRØ, could you turn your light off? Yeah. Not noticing anything that makes it glow in the dark. Yeah. Yeah. No glow in the dark on the top, so it doesn't have that gimmick at the very least, so yeah, we'll just show it during the day. Oh, look at that shine. It's kind of like the Game Boy. Ding! Right. Okay, so I think we've given it a good showing, gentlemen. This is on the workshop right now. Please consider voting yes or no. Do you want to have a solid gold garage door? The option is right there in front of you. Any final words, Mr. MICRØ?
Nope. I wonder structurally if gold would have the same resilience against rocket fire that a steel garage door would. But
well,
I'll put I'll engage my suspension of disbelief there, and we'll just go with it.
Let me put it this way.
I like it.
People would rather rob it than damage it, so they'd have to take more time in figuring out how to remove it. And with that extra time, people notice they're there, and then they can defend themselves. Haha, there you go.
That's true. They'd have to brute force the code lock to be able to pull this off the wall.
Because they need to take the garage door with them. if they actually successfully manage to do it, they'd just roll it up and run away with it. Like one people on each side. They go, quick, run, when they're being shot. Right, let's move on to the next door then. So we have 2 doors here because one of them glows and one of them doesn't. We have a continuation of the Ruin collection. Last year we had a Ruin garage door that was made by Mr. Bad Trip. Well, what he's gone and done now is, well, get a good look at this. Ooh, what do I see? You can immediately see it. We have a very bright and noticeable Ruin sheet metal door right here. And I was talking to MICRØ about this. Surprisingly, after 6 Rust rotations this year, we've only had like 1 door accepted so far, which has definitely taken me by surprise. Oh, I just saw a message from Rap Daddy. Hello, buddy. My apologies. I just noticed your message. Yes, we do this every Saturday. So if you enjoy it, by all means, please give us a follow if you want. And I also have a YouTube. Chat, would you be able to link in my YouTube? You'll notice that this video will be uploaded onto YouTube in a day. Ooh. So yeah, thank you very much for those lovely words, Mr. Rap Daddy. Thank you very much. We're just reviewing all of the workshop skin continuations that we see. And at the moment, I'm looking at a continuation of the Ruin collection. And as we bring back to daylight, here we are. You can get a real good look at the design. It's as if you've uncovered a secret door to a hidden Mayan temple. Get a good look at that. Yes. All worn out, mossy, greenish, but the golden panel still glows ever bright. Is this the door that you need in front of your base? Or, just indoors, Right. And then, of course, we have the non-glowing version right here as well. We'll turn the lights on and we'll make sure it's dark. So, yeah, it's night time. And wait, what? That was weird. So yes, dark and bright to the left. Do you prefer the non-glow-in-the-dark version, as it looks like that? Or do you prefer the glow-in-the-dark version? Mr. MICRØ, would you also like to do exactly that? We can get a good look at the map. Yes, get a look at that. You can see all the bump work there.
Yeah, so he did normals for like all the bricks and that wicker material, and even like the tribal kind of face and all the inscriptions around the edge of that. It's all seem like they have a little bit of depth to them. So he put in some effort to get all those little, I don't know what you call those, icons or symbols or gosh, there's definitely a word for those little
I guess you could
runes or
say
something.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess hieroglyphics is the term because it's not just for Egyptian text. I think because it's all picture based, as you can see, and that's what the Egyptian stuff was. But this is Mayan. It might have its own name. I don't know it. My apologies. But yeah, you can understand what we're referring to.
Inscriptions. That's maybe
That
another
is probably
option.
the best one that we can say. So, Mr. Tripp did a very good job here, didn't he? He's done a very good job with this, as per usual. I mean, you know, he is very experienced. He's the person with the most rust skins to be accepted. But, yeah. Very nice. But he does have competition, doesn't he, Mr. MICRØ? He does have competition. And we'll be taking a look at that in a few seconds. So, yep, one more quick look. Move it around, Mr. MICRØ. Get a good view of that. Alright. So, chat, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no in the workshop. Please consider voting yes or no in the workshop. One more move
Forgive
around.
me, Hedge, if you already mentioned this, but this does have a garage door in the game that this pairs with. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to set up a nice Aztec-themed base or something like ruins or something like that. I mean, my base usually looks like it's been ruined, even when it's still a good base. So this would be perfect for that.
What I should also point out is there is also an AK. The AK came out in 2021, the garage door came out in 2022, and this potentially might come out in 2023. The choice is yours. Please consider voting yes or no. Right. Mr. MICRØ, what do we have right in front of us here? We have...
This is the industrial door.
Yes. It's a continuation of the industrial large box from last week. As I mentioned last week, kind of needed to... Oh.
The industrial craft door. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, that's what they've given it a designated name, the Industrial Craft collection. So last week we had the Industrial Craft large box, and I did make quite a fuss last week how there had to at least be one. Oh, where am I going? I pressed the wrong button. We have to have at least one industrial theme skin for the industrial update. We got the large box to be accepted. And I did strongly allude to the fact that there very likely could be some more skins to this. There very likely will be a collection made out of it. But, you know, that's just like, that's just expected, isn't it, MICRØ? Oh, well, I've had a skin accepted for this thing. I reckon I could turn it into a collection. Yeah, this is basically it. You know, why wouldn't they? People like the large box.
Course. You got to seize opportunity. Carpe diem, as they say.
Yep. So, Mr. MICRØ, if you could turn off your light. Yep, get a good look at the glow in the dark. Stands out very nicely, much like how the large box did last week. But as I said, in terms of its overall design, it's a bit, well, you know, it's not like wacky, it's not silly, it's grounded, fairly realistic. I guess you could also say a tad bit futuristic. It's, I don't know, is it supposed to be like a special computer that you have to scan to enter or something? Probably. But, you know, the paneling, the design of it, it's pretty cool. But, you know, maybe we'll see the likes of a locker. Maybe we'll see the likes of a furnace. Maybe we'll see the likes of a chair, table, you name it. There could be plenty more things. Where's my water purifier? My industrial craft water purifier. Maybe it could be turned into an armor collection. That could happen. You know, armor and clothing. Well, steampunk. You could do it. You certainly could do it, Mr. Oasis. Choice is yours. Any other words, Mr. MICRØ?
Nope. Looks good. I like it.
Very well, then. Let's move on to this very grumpy-looking door. Why is he so grumpy with us, Mr. MICRØ? What did we do to him?
Get off my lawn.
What? Yeah, pretty much exactly that. Why didn't he like the fact that we encased him in metal and tried to seal him away? Right. Well... what we have right in front of me is a continuation of the Stump collection. Not too long ago, Mr. Y9J made a fairly cool-looking Stump furnace. And if you recall, MICRØ, we showed that off regardless of the fact that it wasn't even a collection. You just said this is a very cool looking furnace. I really just wanted to show it off, and I thought, you know what? That's fine. I was more than happy to show it off because I thought it was a great piece of work. Then it was accepted. And then after that, Mr. Y9J tried his best to turn this into a collection. Loads of wood themed. So we had the likes of a wooden door. I think we had a double wooden door at one point. I think we had a bow. We had some tools. None of it was accepted, unfortunately. But what we have right here is a very nice return. And I think I honestly could not think of a good idea where you could incorporate this, but with a sheet metal door. Well, what we have right here, what he's gone and done is he's like trapped it in some metal, but the angry Stump man, he was angry and he burst out of it, and now he sees what you did and he's gonna get you somehow. It's very noticeably glow in the dark. He is. Would you say he's raging? Or would you just say he's in a foul mood? How? In the scale of things, Mr. MICRØ, what would you consider this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess he looks maybe sort of stern, disapproving. He's sick of your shit, Hedge.
How much wood did you just chainsaw right there and then? I heard what you did. Leave my brothers alone and stuff like that. Yeah. But what we should also do, Mr. MICRØ, is just quickly show the lights. Get a good look at that, and you can really see the bump map. You can really see the work that he put in with this lighting on the sides. Get a good look at the texturing here with all of the roots, all of the wood, all of the design on that. He's done a spectacular job with the mapping. And it's well crafted, as you said. What programs are required for this, Mr. MICRØ? What programs, if you know, if you have examples?
I mean, you could get started if you had Blender to do some of the 3D work, and then Substance Painter would let you apply textures and whatnot. And then everything else that's available would just sort of maybe potentially ease the process. I mean, if you're into 3D, you could use ZBrush. If you're into the rendering side of things, Marmoset Toolbag has some great options for that. You could also bake in there. There's other alternatives to Blender like Maya and a few others, but you know, it's sort of up to you and what your budget is and your level of interest in learning new software. Blender by itself has a pretty insane learning curve, but it's very powerful. It's also free. But at a very basic level, I mean, all you really need to do is put together the texture map. I mean, there are skins that get in that don't have custom normals done, so you could get away with just a nice high quality texture in there. But normals definitely help. So yeah, that's between Substance Painter and Blender, you could definitely make some professional level stuff. And there's, you know, over time, we've seen many people make attempts at submitting skins in Photoshop. In fact, one of the very first skins that I made without ever knowing anything about skin making was sort of cobbled together in Photoshop, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
But you learn. You do learn.
But that's exactly right. You got to take baby steps and get familiarized with the process. There's a lot to it. There's many steps in skin making and a lot of challenges and hangups. And we have some discords that you know, the majority of skin makers are members of, so they can always contribute advice and get some input from other creators how to solve particular challenges. So there's a little community going where information is shared and whatnot. So it's like if you have the motivation and the ambition to do it, you could definitely get into that. And the best way to start is to watch some tutorials on the software that you're interested in. I would suggest Substance Painter and Blender to start with, and then you know, you can expand your knowledge from there and get some practice, and before you know it, you'll be one of the big dogs.
Do you want to look at this at night time real quickly and you play with your light? Yes.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, really see The work put in. Yes.
Now, I do think he made use of this sculpt that he did. We saw this on a number of items that have been submitted, furnace and
Oh, yeah. Good look at
some
that.
tools and a bow, bunch of things. Now, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much with every other texture. A lot of people just say, all right, just take that and
Yeah,
put it onto the next thing.
if you can reuse it, you know, you get your money's worth out of it, or get your, I don't mean money, I mean like you've gone to the trouble to make something as detailed and as well polished as this, you know, you might as well, and to be honest, that's what really makes the theme of this and makes the skin what it is. So if you're going to have it be a set, I mean, you could do like what we saw with the volcano set recently, where each one is a little bit different with that lava and
Oh,
the
yeah. The slightly different facial animation.
But I really like how this has the motif of sort of bursting out of the door, or being, you know, the doors cut away to reveal the disapproving tree man behind there.
He is raging at you. What did you do, MICRØ? How many trees did you chop down? How many trees did you chop down? How many trees did you chop down? Right.
I'll never tell.
Well, how about we look at a different face? God, he's got a face, hasn't he? Yes, it's the surprise return of the Tiki collection. Hello, Mr. Tiki Door. How are you doing? So, let's just do the exact same thing. If you could play with your lighting. Yep, I'll turn it off. And you move around. So, I really like this. I really like the use of the leaves. I really like how it's just like you've just happened to have discovered like an old temple of sorts, and if you could just unlock it, what treasures await on the other side and whatnot. This is a cool design. Igor, I was expecting tier 2 and hood in the pants, but to see this instead, I'm not that angry. I'm not that upset. I actually think this has a very good chance of getting accepted. And as I said, we haven't had a sheet metal door for about a month and a half, almost. Close to it now, close to it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of these sheet metal doors being accepted, but which one would you think it's going to be? This right here, definitely a very good contender. Just really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see some more Tiki deployable skins being made, because I think he did a really good job with this. So let's turn this back on, and let me do a little zoomy zoom, get a good look up close. You got the nice gold twirling design here. Twirling? What do you do? You got the leaves. Mr. MICRØ, if you could keep moving your light a little bit. I'm going to turn off the lights here. And then you can see the detail on the leaves, especially with the light reflection. Yeah. Did a very good job with that, Mr. Igor. A very good job with it. And I just scroll up slowly. See the upper part. You see all the other leaves. Yep. Yep. So, cool design. Pretty wacky in a way. But we've already had the Tiki collection with the tier 3, and that was wacky. So, I guess it's to be expected now. I think it's something that we can just kind of expect to see more of. Would you like to see Tiki lockers? Tiki armored door? How would you do? Oh, you could do an armored door where it says teeth. Oh, we just helped you out there, Mr. Eagle. That's something where I'm like anticipating to see the designs of what you could do next. That's a good thing, I'd say. So, what's next, Mr. Igor? If this gets accepted, what else might we see? MICRØ, any words that you might want to offer?
Nope. I think it's. I think I like the leaves a lot. I don't know why. He did a good job. Each one of those has got its own little dimension and texture to it. I like stuff that has, you know, some 3D to it. That's just my personal interest of things. You know, he's not only does he have a good color scheme and design, he's got good use of the gloss map, but he's done, you know, a nice modeling job on all the leaves and the vines and stuff, and it looks cool. I mean, it definitely has a Tiki vibe, if you ask me. I don't know much about Tiki, but I will say this exactly aligns with what I think Tiki seems like. So he hit the theme on the head, and that's from a non-expert point of view. But I like the little cracks, the little you know, the little right? It's cool. He thought of all the. He's got the attention to detail, and he's also got the overall design that looks good. So
I just thought of a very clever idea. So, you know, we just had Nutcracker not too long ago? I'd like to see a Tiki version of it. His mouth opens up. Right.
or yeah, move this around, make it an armored door, make it the mouth that opens up for the hatch. That'd be cute.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly that. So there's a lot of potential creative ideas right there. So we'll have to keep an eye out for it. We'll have to wait and see what's next. Right then, so those are all of the deployables so far this week, I believe, that were continuations that we saw. So I guess we're now moving on to weapons, Mr. MICRØ. So if you could get yourself nice and ready, we're going to start this off by talking about... Oh, one second. Just a momentary little blip here. It will load up perfectly fine in a second. There we go. All right, there we go. Right. And here we are. Starting off with the weapons, we have the Return of the Reptile collection. We have the Reptile Thompson. Get a good look at this. Mr. 1SQ was successful recently with the likes of his Reptile Thompson. And now he's moved on to trying to see if he could get this Thompson accepted. We did see the likes of the SAR being made not too long ago. Obviously it wasn't accepted, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see if this is going to still get a whole bunch of skins being put out here and there. Can't blame him for trying. Mr. MICRØ, could you whip out the Reptile Thompson?
Sure thing.
Nice, bright, orange, colourful, orange tip. Very helpful for most environments. Stands out, helpful. Not too crazy of a design. Like a big splash of paint. And then a guy just quickly grabbed his finger and tried to make some teeth out of... he drew like an angry pair of eyes with the teeth. You know what? I should point this out. He made great use of the extra little panels on the side there to really give the eyes the extra... That's actually a cool little detail. Yeah, just noticed that. He made it go all over there so it kind of sticks out a bit. Kind of makes me think it's like a crocodile. Oh, it does. Well, that's cool. It's not the most stupendous, crazy creative idea, but you know, just to have a nice, more simplistic, down to earth, grounded idea to be accepted every now and then, that's fine. We did see very recently the Wasteland Thompson being accepted, but that did have that little bit extra. This just quite literally looks like a guy just quickly grabbed whatever paint he had and just threw it onto a Thompson. Now, again, that would be a bit more realistic. That would be a whole lot more grounded. That would be perfectly fine. That would be perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everything has to be neon glowing and insane and wacky, so can't go wrong. We'll just quickly... Yep, in the night time. Mr. MICRØ, do you have any words to offer?
Nope. I think this is yeah, I guess you could tell. I don't really have anything to say. I mean,
it's not, again, it's, as I said, it's not exactly like a crazy idea, but it worked with the Python. And it very likely could work again. We do see the occasional, not too crazy type of skins being put out every now and then, and sometimes they do just get accepted. You know, Face Punch just probably thinks, you know what, let's go with something a bit more, you know, I say simplistic in terms of realistically could be made in the game. Like, realistically, someone probably found some paint on the island and they thought, well, I've got this old Thompson, how about I just quickly give it a quick paint job? Simple as that. So, yeah. And regardless, Thompson skins, they easily go up in price. When times are good, Thompson skins go... So, I look forward to it, and I hope you do too. Gentlemen, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. And, MICRØ, do you like the colour orange? Or is it as good as pink?
It's interesting because I have a set of orange gear that I wear, and before the HDRP update, it actually worked awesome for the grassy biome. And like, if you spend any time in the desert, maybe it would sort of also help there. But now with HDRP, which has been out now for like years, they've moved to that new render pipeline. But I don't know if this would really offer the same amount of like ability to blend in the grassy biome. I don't think it will. That doesn't mean I don't like orange. In fact, I kind of do like the orange. You know, what I wanted to say earlier about this was I like, you know, I'm looking for some, I want to frame this in a positive way. You know, we do see, and I talk about it all the time, like I like seeing things with the sculpting and with the nice set of normals that complements the design. And not every skin has to have that. I mean, there's ways around that. And in fact, if your theme works as it is, like I guess it's not really necessary. And this is kind of cool in that it's like a black base with spray, you know, like sputtered spray paint on there, like a really loose and sloppy tag job. And then maybe those teeth are like written on with a Sharpie marker or something. Like I guess that's kind of cool. I mean, if you were just like, you know, decorating this yourself, it might turn out looking like this. So it sort of is a more grounded and realistic looking paint job. And admittedly, it's a bit on the simpler side, but it doesn't mean to say that it's not cool looking. So
it's nice to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you know? Like, we'll go crazy creative one week, and then the previous week we'll probably go simplistic. I mean, we've just had Valentine skins. Have you seen the amount of pink that we just saw? Have you seen? Did you see how most of them were just like hearts and stuff? You know, you know, it can go in various ways. You know, so at the end of the day, it's fine. It has its place, and we've already had one skin accepted. Continuations tend to work out quite nicely. So, well, it's Q. Let's see if that potentially works out for you. Give the old reload.
I guess I should throw it on my back just for the old
checky check
over the shoulder test. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Perilous Outlaw. How are you doing today, good sir? Is everything all good for you? Do you like the look of this Thompson skin? Would you like to hold it in your hands and go on a killing spree? Yes. All right, Mr. MICRØ. Let's now move on to the next weapon. The next weapon being the Banger SMG. So we have a custom SMG skin. The Banger collection has in fact continued. And oh, I hit some. Oh, I didn't know you were there. I just shot the bear. I just shooting randomly.
You're dangerous, Hedge.
Well, he kept moving around. I honestly didn't know he was there. He was really camouflaged. I think we need to just wear bear skin. I think that's the way to...
You're a danger to bears and everyone around you.
Right, so Mr. Michael... Oh, actually, I should have done that. Yep. Mr. Michael. And let's get a look at this. Yep, we got our usual routine... Banger skin. Yeah, I'd say that in a nice way because, well, he's been making a lot of these recently. He's been keeping it up. We've had the likes of Crossbow skins. We've been seeing a whole lot of skins being accepted as well. But yeah, I really like what he did here because we used to have the skulls in the pictures, didn't we? But of course, the custom SMG has this big hole here. So he just made the skulls like have their like heads like explode. That's clever.
Yeah, it's cool to see him working around the geometry of the gun. You know, really making that design integrate with the shape of the weapon and the available space. And it's clever the way he was able to work that in there. And you know, these guys are really prolific when it comes to turning out these banger designs. And well, they're doing a good job. I mean, they look good. They definitely occupy, you know, the design works with all the guns. It fills up all the space around the gun, and they have a nice color scheme and little like interesting little graphics and details added around the gun. And each one is every one of them is unique. You know, they all fit in the same theme, but at the same time they're they match with their themes. So I think that's, or you know what I mean? Like it's a consistent theme that all fits together. If you laid all these guns side by side, there would be no question they're all from the same set. You know, but they're all unique. You know, it's not just copy pasting the same imagery from one to the next. So got to hand it to him for that.
Would you like to reload it right in front of me? Give it a little
Be
shoot.
happy to.
And reload. Spectacular. Now, the reason why I brought up crossbow... reason why I brought up the crossbow is because he had to make some changes, because for every skin he had the bullet shoot across. But with the crossbow you can't do that, can you? So he had to change it to an arrow. So yeah, we have seen the occasional thing where he has the base design, but he's got to change some things up because not everything shoots a bullet. So maybe he moves on to melee skins, like maybe he gets the hammer, maybe we'll see maybe something like a salvage sword. We shall see. Not sure how you can make a banger sword, unless you tie a grenade to it. Or a bang. Where's the banger grenade? Michael, where's the banger grenade? Come on.
That would be interesting to see. I don't know if he can get away with that on the grenade. Grenades are notoriously difficult to skin, so
all he needs to do is just put the bang on it, and then you're done. That's all you need to do. Seriously.
Well, yeah, we'll see what he can do. Let's see it.
You take one of these skulls with the head blown off, and you put the bang in between, and then you're done. It's literally just that.
Where does the bullet go?
He takes a lovely vacation for a week. There we go. There we go. Do you want to put it on your back?
Sure.
There we go. And I only just there we are. Perfect. Yes. So yeah. It fits, like literally the width of that gap is just as big as the little like speed like trail. So something I just noticed there. That's cool. Right, Mr. MICRØ, let's move on to the next weapon. Let us move on to the it's tools. Yeah. Perilous. I don't think I can scream love you as I shoot this because I can't shoot it. Love you! No. Sorry, I was just reading what I was asked. So, what we have here in my hands is a continuation of the Wasteland collection. Mr. Andre has produced some tools. And MICRØ, what are the wires for this week? What do you reckon that's for? I think it was supposed to glow in the dark. But it got damaged.
Everything, technology is moving forward. And what used to be a simple device, like a hatchet.
Love you.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go, Perilous. Perfect.
I felt that.
Did it land in your foot?
It landed somewhere on me.
Well,
it may have then disappeared. Oh no, yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's disappeared. Well,
that's what you get. That's what you get.
Let's start off with looking at the likes of the hatchet. Get a good look at that. We're sticking with the base design of, all custom skin. I don't know why I said custom. All of the Wasteland skins have this torn up caution. Black and yellow's caution, correct? Black and yellow, what do we refer to it as? It's normally you'd see like railings and whatnot. They'd say caution and whatnot. I don't know if that's fully correct to say, but I guess you could just say. Go ahead.
It's just a visual marker for any type of hazard or a warning.
Apple juice. Clearly, it's the RGB lighting. All right. Don't question the wires. It was supposed to have RGB lighting. But unfortunately, someone went and broke it, Mr. MICRØ. Now it's all damaged. I can't return it like this. Oh, God. Unbelievable, you are. Unbelievable. Could you put it on your back, Mr. MICRØ?
Sure can.
Because I also realised I didn't show off the pickaxe in my own hand, so I had to quickly switch over, put it in my hands, and yeah. Is this view correct? I look a bit weird. Never mind. Yep. So, that's perfect. And I will now... There we go. I now have in my hands the Wasteland pickaxe. Perfect for mining, I'm sure. Not sure what the wires for this one would be.
That's where the charger port is.
but for what? What's it charging? Hey, at the end of the day, perfectly fine skin with me. So, yep. You can see all the damage. It's all worn out. So what is he targeting with, what's he keeping track of over here? Has he been mining heads?
Yeah, that could be nodes farmed, or that's a body count. It looks like.
Because I was going to sit there and say, if it's nodes, if he's only got 10 nodes and he's made it look like this after that, I would probably not want to give him the pickaxe ever again. He's worn it all out already. Supposed to use that for hundreds of nodes. But anyway, cool looking design. And if you could put it on your back, Mr. MICRØ, get a good look at it from your back.
One of the aspects, and I guess I do this regularly, but I'll talk about little challenges when it comes to skin making. The texture for the handle of this is mirrored front to back, or across both sides of the handle. So as an artist, you're not making a texture that like wraps all the way around the handle. That texture for the front half matches the back half and so that's why all of these skins you'll see have like a vertical symmetry down the length of the handle, and you have to work around that. And so he's actually done that here. He's got like these that caution or the hazard striping on the top part of the handle, and then it's almost like a piece of metal that's wrapped around there and then hose clamped in place with those little worm drive screw clamps. And it it's symmetrical, but it works. I think that's a pretty cool workaround, or a way of handling the fact that that symmetry is unavoidable. So he did a nice job of giving that a nice industrial kind of look. And it's got a similar design with the metal, that hazardous paint job on the metal that wraps around the top of the pick. I think that looks cool.
All right.
I definitely like this in terms of the adherence to the idea of it being like a cobbled together, improvised thing, or something that's crafted out of the parts you have on hand.
Maybe
I definitely appreciate that.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't fully. Maybe it wasn't originally like the metal casing is actually from a different thing, scrap metal, but they just wrapped it around it to reinforce it. Maybe that could be the case.
Mm-hmm.
More realistic, down to earth, like grounded design, like DIY made tools. So cool stuff, Mr. MICRØ. Let us now proceed to talking about the El Diablo crossbow made by Mr. Eros. So if you can, I knew you were going to do that, and I dodged it, and you look foolish.
You literally walked out of the way of that. So.
Oh dear, how'd that happen? How does that? Oh no, oh no! Look at the state of you. Look at the state of you. You've got an arrow on your head. Oh no! So yes, this is the perfect crossbow for your revenge needs, because well, you might have a certain someone that, don't you dare! I could see you trying. I'll hide from you. So yes, get a good look at this. Get a good look at this. If you can remember, Eros. He got 2 skins accepted in the same week, and was surprised to see it, but he had the Cyber Code and the El Diablo skin accepted during the same week, and that started off both of his collections. Now, with the likes of the Cyber Code, I believe he's had like 4 skins accepted, but when we look at the likes of the El Diablo, he's only had 2 skins accepted, so quite unfortunate. Let's go take a look at Mr. MICRØ and laugh at his demise. No, you should have left it there for the whole thing. It was funny. Anyway, so not too wacky in terms of its design, like with colours and whatnot. We have the scorched looking wood. See, we talked about this before. What is this design? You know how like when metal like starts to crack when it's too hot? What's it called? But it's not metal, is it? It's wood, isn't it?
No, I do believe that's meant to be metal. So that looks like it's just developed a layer of scale over top of a piece of red hot metal, and that's common in blacksmithing. It's what happens when you heat up metal. You get a layer of scale on the outside, and then you hit that and it flakes off, or hit it with a wire brush.
Well, I'm certainly not against it. What it does is it makes sure arrows spicy hot, and when they hit people, it burns them. Well, I mean, you'd probably use flame arrows for that, but yep, cool design.
Just checking to make sure it didn't glow.
Cool design. It doesn't glow, but yeah, good point. It does not glow. That was something that we assumed with the very first El Diablo skin. If you can remember, it was the Python quite some time back. I like the little design here, the little Diablo man. Cool stuff. But yep, this is the El Diablo crossbow. And I should point out to you people, crossbow skins, they do tend to pick up quite nicely when times are good. But when it's not good times, they are not good investments. So that's something to be cautious about. We shall wait and see. Cool design. Will we potentially see another Aeros skin being accepted? I wouldn't be surprised. He's been very successful over the past few months. He's probably the most successful person over the past 3 months to get a skin accepted. And I'm not joking. I should have kept count, shouldn't I? But yeah. Cool stuff. MICRØ, any final words before we move on to the next one?
Nope. I think it's I'll just reinforce your point that it's a pretty another pretty grounded design. It's got some nice distressing on it. It's a simple sort of plain design based in reality. I don't mind that at all. I mean, if you're looking for something that really stands out and it looks insane, you might need to look somewhere else. But this also kind of just has like a nice toned down, simpler, more simple look. And the fact that it kind of looks like it might glow, but it doesn't, you know, it kind of is cool in that respect. I mean, glowing items are a bit on the pay to lose side. I'm not saying that they'll totally work against you, but they certainly won't help you be stealth at night. Running around with a crossbow at night that glows could be a disadvantage. So I like that they chose not to make it glow. And I don't know. I think it's an all right skin.
Could you put it on your back?
Criticism for it. Sure.
Or bam. Right, watch out. That might burn your back. You might lose some. You might get some burns. Don't worry, it's all right. Right. Let's now start talking about. Or actually, I need to open this up because this has two versions. This has two versions. I was a little bit confused there. I was like, where did my hatchet go? And then I remembered. Right, so, do you remember the... Oh, let's get it not too bright. There we go. Do you remember the Eco AK 2 weeks ago? Very interesting design. Well, now we've got a SAR. Surprise, surprise, it's a SAR. I've made a joke over these past few weeks that the SAR was becoming the new AK, as in we keep seeing far too many SAR skins being accepted in such a short amount of time. Towards the end of 2022, we saw, like, over the course of maybe 2 months, 7 SAR skins being accepted. I'm not joking, it was that bad. And it kind of feels like it's still continuing, that trend. Not surprised that he would make this because, of course, with so many SAR skins being accepted, you think, well, of course I'd want to make a SAR skin. It's more likely to be accepted, duh. Much like with the AK. So, how can you blame the skin creators? But what I should also show to you is the fact that there's a white version as well. The AK that came out 2 weeks ago, it actually came out in 4 different designs. One of them was a white version like this. It looks like, so let's just quickly remember who made it. Mr. Upor, I don't know how to pronounce it, mate, my apologies. But he probably wants to see if Face Punch would like the white version as well. Maybe they picked the white version. Maybe we get a weird mix and match of black and white Eco Collection skins. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. And of course, does it glow at night? No. No, it does not. No. Right. Master MICRØ. Turn to your side and pose. So what's this made out of? Cork? Yeah, maybe. It's eco-friendly. It's helping the world by going green. It's made with non-toxic paint. 100% eco-friendly. A little recycling symbol there. So, yep, that's nice. That's cool. Fun design. Very unique design. Compared to everything I've seen accepted into this game, this one definitely stands out. Jacob, maybe later. Right, looks like we'll break once you shoot the first bullet. Maybe. Maybe it shoots eco-friendly bullets. Ah, you didn't think about that, was there? Oh, it shoots acorns. That there you go. Damn squirrels eating. You want nuts so bad, eat them. Right, so yeah, no, I really want a gun now that shoots acorns. It would probably do 1 damage each, but it would be fun. Be fun for practicing. Oh, I think we should have squirrels in the game now. No, would you like squirrels in the game, Mr. MICRØ?
I would. I think that would be amazing if we had more diversity in terms of animals and like non. I don't mean I'm looking forward actually to the pets update. I'm actually really looking forward to that. But I was pretty hyped when they introduced birds into the game a few years ago. Now you can't shoot them down or anything like that, but if you'll notice, if you walk up to a tree and hit it, you'll have birds that fly away. And if you're like really astute, you might notice birds flying, and you can like follow them back to the tree and maybe find a sucker down there chopping some wood for you.
Mhm.
But I think that would be awesome if they had like squirrels or rabbits or other
Raccoons, you can take their hide and make some funny looking hats.
Yep. I think that would be awesome. I would love to see that in the game.
All right. And would you like to whip out the white one as well?
Sure.
Give it a good spin around. Yeah, raccoons could steal your food. It'd be very fun. They could spawn inside your house. They don't exist outside. They just randomly spawn in your base.
Like maybe if a recycler hasn't been interacted with in a while, like, you know, a raccoon might pop out when you go to like access it.
No, it has to be a jump scare. Has to be a jump scare. Like you just walk up to it and just yeah, that I really want it to happen now. Like people would be genuinely scared. Like I was playing Dark and Darker yesterday, and they have mimics. You have to always be cautious about every single chest you open. I would love to make people scared about using the recycler. It could be for Halloween, all right? It could just be for Halloween, but let's have some fun. Could you also whip out the black one again? I didn't get a good look at it with the nighttime look. So
let me ask you something. What continents are being shown there?
What continents?
On the side of the globe.
I see. North America, South America. Then I see Africa, and is that a very small Asia?
I don't know. From my view, I'm looking at them. They look like they're backwards to me.
They probably are. Wait, if I look on the other side.
I think that's Africa on the left.
Could you do a 180 and turn the other side?
Oh, maybe they're mirrored and they're correct on this side.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You're looking at opposite world. You're looking at opposite world, MICRØ.
I guess so.
Yep. Could you whip out the black one?
Sure.
Yep. You could also turn around because I can see the white skin on your back as well. So get a good look at that.
Face away?
Yep, just for this. I can get a good view of that. Gentlemen, do you like that? Do you like what you see? Now show more of the one you're holding. Oh, it says non-toxic on the back. Hey, yep. I didn't notice that. That's a fun little thing there. And yep, we've got the black one right there as well. Chat, do you like the white one or the black one? I shall point out that the black AK was accepted, so maybe it's only going to be the black SAR that will be accepted. But yep, if you could hold the black one once more, we can get a better look at it. Yeah, now turn around and show me what you got. I'm going to slowly rise up. And there we are. Yes. Cool stuff. Nice and shiny. Would you like to have an eco-friendly gun? Make sure you go to the workshop and vote yes or no. And MICRØ, is there any final words that you might want to sit there and say?
Do you remember for a while, and maybe people still do this, but like there was like a big clean movement into converting diesel-powered cars to run on like cooking oil?
Yeah.
You remember that? Like, do you think maybe this works instead of like gunpowder in there? It's like, you know, used cooking grease or something like that.
So you want a water gun that shoots hot cooking grease at people?
Well, that's another option. That sounds very medieval, actually. But
you'd have to have something to keep it hot all the time. Oh, moth. Oh, not another one.
what was the observation we had from chat last time? This looks like kind of like granola, huh? The cork.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a bite out of it, it's probably going to be very healthy for you. Very eco-friendly, healthy.
This gun sponsored by Nature Valley.
Yes. Right, so, Mr. MICRØ, I think we should move on to the next weapon. We shall talk about the Predatory Collection once more. Wherever it might be. No, yep. There we are. That's it. Right. Here we have the Predatory Collection SAR. Get a good look at that. Got the nice, slight, you might not notice it immediately, but at the very top, do you see the very slight tiger stripes? The orangey tiger stripes in the very, very bright... Oh, I've lost control. Oh, apparently pressing T makes you lose... Huh. There we go. I'm back to normal now. There we go. Oh, it's because I have this turned off. And when you press T, there you go. That makes a load of sense. And this moth is actually flying around me a lot, Mr. MICRØ. Sorry if I look like I'm suddenly changing, because I might grab it in a second. But yep. Very nice colour design with its aim sight. On every Predatory Collection skin that we've seen, every weapon, we've seen this very cool looking red going into yellow design. Do you notice? Do you see that? When I just quickly go down, it like the tips and the side kind of stutter. That's weird. Anyway, so... Oh, I got him. No, don't got him. Got him! Oh, he fell off. There we go. Got him! I'm the predator. Right, so... we caught that live. Mr. MICRØ. Let's get you on your side. Let's get a good look at that design. Only a true predator can show off this design. Yes, gentlemen, bask in the glory of the hunter, the killer, the top of the food chain. It's the Predatory SAR. We have a very angry-looking tiger staring at you from a distance. He will kill you. Now, I still stick with the idea that it's 2 beady eyes and then a very, very tiny mouth. Like a very tiny, tiny mouth. So now he's just like... But yeah, it's actually the nose is just like right there. So then you get the idea if it's actually a tiger. So cool stuff.
Could you imagine if we got like custom sound effects in the game? Like when you shoot, it went like...
Loads of other games do have it, Mr. MICRØ. All you have to do is just keep asking the developers for your crazy ideas, and maybe they'll get a restraining order on you. No, maybe if you just ask enough. I wonder how much they would like for people to be able to customize Rust if they had the option to. Would it go too far, Mr. MICRØ? Would it go too far? You've seen the state of the workshop, so you know it can go too far.
It's a wild place, yeah, but some real magic comes out of there. So, you know, the more you enable people's creativity, the more wonderful stuff that you can find in this world. And you can also find some really horrible stuff, too. But
yes, very horrible stuff. Don't look at the workshop, children. Please refrain from looking at the Rust workshop. All right?
Or just stay there on Mondays. You'll see a lot of good stuff on Mondays. Other days are a little... You watch your step.
Yeah.
Watch your step.
Yeah. Just try your best. Don't look. All right. Spare yourselves. All right. So we've got a nice, useful aim sight, and as I mentioned, you can vaguely see the stripes right there. I kind of wish they kind of added more. Like it really did stand out a whole lot more. But it is a very kind of nice, sleek design all along here. And then, of course, with every Predatory skin that we have the same colourful design right here. But I will be honest with you. It is a bit samey. I don't blame Mr. Verona for continuing to make it, because why wouldn't you? Keeps getting accepted. But, like, it's been the same for many, many, many Predatory skins now. I'm not sure when he'll stop. Maybe he'll try and make an attempt for every single gun in the game, but, yeah. I wonder if he could adapt it. He did make, what was it? Didn't he make armor or clothing not too long ago? He gave that a shot, but that didn't work out, did it? Yeah, I remember we showed that off, but yeah. Yeah, because we said, he really should emphasize the tiger stripes, but obviously it didn't happen.
You know, I like what he did here with the tip of the barrel. He's got like a muzzle brake or like a compensator. I think that's what it's meant to be. It's either that or like a Lego brick or something. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be some type of like muzzle attachment. I mean, even though it's about as much as you could do with the barrel of this rifle, I have a feeling that's what it's meant to be. So that's kind of cool.
Could we have it on your back, good sir? Could we have it on your back? Right, there we have it. Yep, get a good look at that. Again, it's the same design, isn't it? It's the same design that we see with every Predatory skin. But, people are still going to buy it if it gets accepted. He's been quite successful with this, Mr. Rona. I think he's had like 4 skins accepted. Could this be number 5? Or did I get that number right? We shall see. Right then, let's now move on to talking about the last workshop continuation weapon skin. It is the return of Retro Blast. This is a version 2. This is another attempt at the LR300. Mr. Jimmick quite recently went ahead and made the pizza skins. Proved to be quite successful, but he decided to take a break from that, and now we've moved back to a Retro Blast. If you can remember, people, we had a Retro Blast Thompson and an AK, and they sold fairly alright, and post-Christmas time, that Thompson went up to about $5. I was very happy. I sold quite a lot of them. But to stick with this LR300, it's... Oh, I've clicked the wrong thing. To stick with this LR300, it's nice, it's bright, it's colourful. It's not too wacky in terms of its colour choices. But what are you trying, huh? What are you trying, huh? There we go. Yeah, first try. So, Mr. MICRØ, how did that bullet into the head feel like? Huh?
I caught it with my teeth. No big deal.
All right then. So your teeth didn't break. I heard a bit of a snap sound. That's all. So, yes, nothing too insane. I don't remember the original one that much to be able to figure out how many changes have been made in total. But hey, Retro Blast does look cool. I will give it that. It's, again, not wacky, not silly. It's stylish in its own sense, with only the use of 3 colours. I guess you could also say it's got a lot of black to it as well. But yeah, I mean, he went for something here. He also went and tried to get some tier 3 armour made, didn't he? If you can remember that. That wasn't too long ago. Mr. Jimmick's tried his best, but after a while he decided to put that aside, made some pizza skins randomly, and then they got accepted. So he's been quite successful with his ideas, but can he return to them? Will he be successful in getting this accepted? Mr. MICRØ, any opinions on what you're holding in your hands?
Well, it certainly got the same color block scheme that the other items we've seen have had on it. I kind of like the red ghost ring sight, but the yellow tip on there isn't my favorite, but it's not really bad. We're in an unfavorable environment here to really properly show it. I think it might be better in like a grassy biome, but it's still usable. It's definitely still shootable. And
just don't shoot in yellow areas, all right?
Yeah, if I'm shooting at your sign, it's pretty low contrast. But if I'm shooting at a darker object or in a darker environment, like terrain-wise, it's pretty visible.
I was about to say don't shoot at cheese, and then I envisioned the gingerbread caves that we had for Christmas, and I imagined it all being cheese. Well, sorry.
You have an interesting imagination.
I had to try and make I had to try and make sense of shooting
hungry?
cheese. Yes, I'd like some cheese. Do you have any? Ah, that wasn't nice. But anyway, I could go for some cheddar right now. Maybe. Some good
sharp.
cheddar.
It's got to be sharp though. None of that like
mature.
that weak ass cheese.
Or you could probably go for some Leicester. Maybe some Edam. Oh, Damn it. Spicy Mexican if you want, but yeah. Right, so, nice, bright, colourful, cool design. Mr. MICRØ, put it on your back. Does it look stylish? Let's find out. Wabam! Get a load of that. Stands out quite nicely, looks pretty cool. It is an LR300 skin, so immediately I would be a bit cautious if it were to be accepted. I would be cautious about it, but you never know. Could we see the return of the Retro Blast collection, or will we get a return to the Retro Blast collection? Mr. MICRØ, with that is the final weapon. That is the end of showing off weapons. Now it's time to start putting on some pretty clothes, Mr. MICRØ. Would we like to start off with the comics jacket? If you could pair that up with what we had quite recently, the hoodie and the pants, Mr. MICRØ will be, doing a bit of mixing matching, because we have some very similar skins in terms of their intended design. You'll understand in a minute, because after this we're going to show something that might pair up well with it as well, but ta-da! Damn, Mr. MICRØ, look at that. Yes, gentlemen, quite quickly, Mr. Legacy decided, you know what, I need to quickly go ahead and make a comics jacket. The perfect necessity for those snowy environments. Yes. Is this what you need? Is this what you desire most? Now, I'm trying to see what the silly little doodle for this one is, because you tend to have like a little comment on the comics skins, but I can't seem to find it. Oh, you've moved a little bit ahead. Oh, you got a little happy face right there, so that's all right. That's cool. All right, so Mr. MICRØ, you're very bright and white, aren't you? You're very stand out. Maybe we could probably have you jump into the snowy area down below if you want, just to try and see if it's cool. Like, just jump down there or to the side. So we're going this way. Off he goes, chat. Off he goes. When will he come back? Nobody knows. Yeah, I mean, from a distance, works out very nicely. I like this little door hold idea that I got. Ow! Hey, you know what? That's it. No more MICRØ. He's banned. He's banned from the video. I'm joking. So yeah, where did that come from? Where did it come from, chat? Where did it come from? I can't see him. Seriously, where is he? How did you do that? Camouflage, just pay to win. Stop him. Right, so back to over to here. It is very white. It's very bright. And is it the skin collection that you want to invest into? We already have the hoodie and the pants. They sold like 39,000 each. Probably going to go up to 40,000 when we can see that there's more in circulation. Would you like to see the jacket being accepted? Do you reckon that might be a very good investment? Gentlemen, you could easily just jump onto the Steam Workshop and you can vote yes or no. It's as simple as that. Mr. MICRØ, Oh, you've got a little patch there in the bottom right. Oh no, someone had an accident. Oh dear.
Oh, that's actually, believe it or not, that's actually part of the default skin. He just sort of recreated that.
I know. I was just making a joke out of it. He's making just excuses.
For reference, this is the stock.
Excuses. He had a little accident on the back. Anyway, Mr. MICRØ, we have some extra skins to show off, and I think you could probably pair it up with this, but then we could really match it up with its intended home. So, what we're about to see is a continuation of the Arctic collection. Yes, this week, Mr. Demon decided, you know what? I need to make some... Did you take off your beloved...
I dropped my miner's hat.
Your beloved miner's hat? How could you?
Too much junk piling up in here. I gotta get rid of that.
Your miner's hat's not a junk piece. Oh, no, don't say such things, MICRØ. You love your miner's hat. But yes, this week, Mr. Demon decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make some leather gloves. And I'm going to make bandana. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we needed the bandana. He made the head wrap, right? He made the head wrap. Do you really think we needed the bandana? Well, MICRØ. I'm sure you're about to say some people like to mix it up, but yeah. Do you think it was necessary? What do you reckon?
You gotta use what you got. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, yeah. I mean, if some people are going to wear bandanas and some people are going to wear burlap head wraps, it's best to at least produce it and give it to the people rather than just, hold out or never even put it out. So, what am I saying? Anyway, so, yes, the Arctic collection only grows stronger. Get a good look at this, the leather gloves. Gentlemen, here's a quick pop quiz. When was the last leather gloves to be accepted? The last leather glove skins to be accepted? 2021. Yes, the fish gloves. It's been a long time since we saw some leather gloves being accepted. Probably because, as you mentioned not too long ago, why would you want leather gloves when you got road sign gloves? As you said, Mr. MICRØ. Yeah, spin it around ever so slowly. I'll be honest with you, we probably don't need to spin around too much because it's the bandana and the gloves, but if you want to do the whole kit, that's fine. Yep, right helmet from not too long ago. You do look really cool with the right helmet and the bandana. That actually is a pretty cool combination there. All the clothing pieces that hardly ever get used, all wrapped up into one fun set right there. I mean,
and
yeah.
I'll mention the guidance. It's actually part of the guidance from Facepunch or by way of TGG, and they say that road sign gloves are the preferred tier. So if you're going to make something, make road sign is essentially the guidance.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't make other things. It just means that's what's preferred by the developers. Or, that statement has been out for a few years now. Maybe they've achieved like the number of, if you recall, road sign gloves were only made recently skinnable, recently.
I think it's the most recent item to become skinnable, actually. That's what, 2021?
It's been a few years. I say recent, like, in air quotes there, but I think that statement may have come out in sort of support of trying to get a bunch of road sign gloves built up so that there's options. But I don't know, maybe that still holds true, that that's the desired requested skin by Facepunch. But just wanted to throw that in there as a talking point, because you mentioned, why would you want leather gloves if road sign exists? I mean, leather gloves still have their place. Anything road sign makes you colder, so if you're running around in the winter area, Arctic area, you probably don't want road sign
So it
gloves.
makes perfect sense for this set that's clearly intended to be camouflage for the snowy cold areas. You'd make the leather gloves. There we go. Mm-hmm. Clever way to work it round into that. So yeah. And Mr. Meta, fish gloves. That's the answer. Fish leather gloves. I don't think we want to pull out the fish leather gloves for this. I don't think it will match very well. But you know what we could do, Mr. MICRØ? We could probably whip out the fish pants and hoodie.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Gentlemen, we have a return of...
I have to go put some of this stuff away.
He needs to go get his lure. And
I actually have the fish stuff. I just got to deposit my Arctic camo things.
You just tell me when you're ready, buddy. No, not yet.
Okay, I'm ready.
We really need to clean this rug, by the way. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good dry cleaner on this island in a while.
Right. Look who's all scaly.
Where's my boots?
Scaly and green. It is the return of the fish collection, the hoodie and pants version 2. Get a load of this. Now, what I like a lot, which I've immediately noticed, is he incorporated the whole opening of the hoodie to be the fish mouth. He has to add the fish mouth somehow. And there we go. You got the lure right there as well. That's what I was alluding to. It's not much of a lure anymore. It's a dead fish. But yeah, Mr. MICRØ, nice, bright and shiny green. Get a spin around on that, please. Get a spin around on that. Yeah, you are very shiny. You are the shiniest MICRØ I've ever seen.
Well, I'm straight out of the ocean, so I'm still a little wet.
Right, so, yes, been a while since we saw some fish skins being accepted. We definitely saw Mr. Shedmon making some extra skins in regards to complete the sets, if I can remember. When he didn't have a skin accepted, if I can remember, he went ahead and tried to get a... he tried to get one accepted, didn't he? Like, he kilt. Didn't he try and resubmit his kilt? I'm going back quite far back. Basically, he's made the likes of a knife. He's made the likes of a SAR. He's been making attempts to try and reinvigorate and return to his fish collection. But unfortunately, we haven't seen anything be accepted for quite some time. Could this potentially reinvigorate things? Could we potentially see the likes of this being accepted and maybe the kilt, and then we eventually have a full fish collection, and then we can all be happy and swim with the fishes? I don't know. MICRØ, would you like to swim with the fishes?
Yes.
You definitely would you?
Yes.
Right,
fish in the chat.
So, whilst this is very, very nice, we do have something I guess you could pair up with this. Mr. MICRØ, would you like to put on the final clothing piece so I can make my wonderful, wonderful joke? It's Swamp Thing! Hey! It's the swamp man, swamp monster. Yes, gentlemen, Mr. MICRØ has decided to return to making some more camouflage skins. He's returned, and he decided, you know what? Instead of making camouflage armor, how about I just make a camouflage head wrap and poncho? This is, and as Mr. Metatron said it, it's the true fishnet. But yeah, I mean, you could take the hoodie and the pants off now if you want. Put back your loot leader back on. Yep, Mr. MICRØ has decided to go ahead and make a poncho and a head wrap that I guess you could say is a bit of a ghillie suit. With its intended design, this definitely looks like it's trying to be a ghillie suit. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, this looks a whole lot better in terms of the approach compared to the likes of the armor that we saw him make last year, because that was quite literally just kind of like wrapped onto it, which, you know, that's fine because that was kind of sticking with the theme of what the camouflage rugs were and whatnot. But this actually looks like it can work perfectly for its like intended inspiration. That right there is a really good design for a ghillie suit, and I think a lot of people would appreciate it. And a lot of those people right now are probably thinking, you know what? Do you reckon you could test it out in terms of seeing if it's good camouflage in green areas? So, Mr. MICRØ, how about we go do just that? How about we test out and see if this looks good with some grassy areas? So if you just go quickly run along, we have a little oasis, I guess you could say. Would we call it an oasis, MICRØ? It's
a foresty wonderland. It's a miniature wonderland over here.
Right. So, Mr. MICRØ, hiding amongst the bushes, the foliage. Yep. Now, what you should do is, why not stand right amongst inside the bush? I feel like that's a great start. So yep. Pretty hard to notice him as I get closer. There he is. That blends in very nicely. Yes. Now what I should do is I should probably tinker with the lighting a bit more. Try and get it so it's very bright. Maybe I should look at you more from the side. Maybe over here. Yeah. I mean, you can notice that there, can't you? What about if you moved a little bit inward from this perspective? Maybe move a bit backwards, and now he's disappeared. Now you cannot see him. MICRØ, whip out a gun and shoot me. Yes, you're just walking along, and then you happen to see bullets. MICRØ? Wait, what? What?
Oh, you weren't supposed to see me.
You're supposed to be camouflaged in the bush.
Come up behind you.
Boo!
You know, yeah, you definitely get off a little grub play hiding in the bush.
Yeah.
Little Sir Winter action.
So how
That's
about
just a joke. It's just a joke.
how
Everybody.
about you move into the tree area? Does it kind of work with you? Does it kind of help out? So we'll just slowly move ahead. And yeah, yeah. But yeah, you're not going to get super noticed there. Running along, people might not notice you. But then again, maybe it's the green and the black clothing because you are kind of shadowed. You are kind of shadowed there, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's like instantly something where we can sit here and say, "Oh yeah, it's the camouflage. It's working." Kind of looks like it's working because you're in like a darker area, so it's debatable. But it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. How about you put the fish stuff on? You could be Swamp Thing again. Swamp Man, Swamp Man! Swamp Man, Swamp Man. Actually, that doesn't look like it's very good. If you go in the bushes now, the light green's going to make you stand out. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Yeah, that didn't work out very well. The light green isn't helping you out there.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really the best test environment. I mean, we just put down a couple trees and bushes here to demonstrate, and it might be a little more convincing in a forest biome.
Yeah.
But...
So, at the end of the day, the gimmick of what it is, people are going to end up jumping in and buying it. If we do seeing it being accepted, I guess we will have to put an extra effort into finding a quick forest area and then really showing it off. Because if you can recall, we quite recently had the likes of Elite Crate Tier 3, and then we had Frog Cosplay, and we wanted to really showcase, alright, does this look good in certain times of the day in foresty areas? And well, Elite Crate was great, and then Frog Cosplay, no, too bright, not very helpful. So that right there, when you paired it up with Loot Leader, you were very good at camouflaging. But with the frog, the fish, not so much. No. Thumbs down. So, right, Mr. MICRØ, that's a wrap on all of the workshop skins. But we have a new segment that we'd like to introduce. Before, do you have any other words that you want to say for the things that we have, Phil? Should we just move on to the next thing, do you reckon? When you said your eyes just shifted and that looked really funny. No, you don't need to say anything else.
No, I mean I like the idea of the ghillie suit kind of concept here. I guess the head wrap is maybe a little goofy because it just like every other apparatus that goes on your head, it deletes your hair underneath, like, you know, so it's got sort of like a bald cap effect when you look through the camo netting there. Like, I wonder if maybe he could have made that like
darker on top, like not so transparent.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you don't really have an option to make it not so transparent. It's either transparent or it's not. So, all things considered, I think this works pretty well. The only thing maybe you could do to diminish the obvious bald cap underneath there would be to model it with a bit smaller openings in there, just so there's not as much sticking through. So that would definitely be an option. But other than that, I think it's cool. I mean, especially the poncho, because it does pick up the color of what you're wearing underneath there. So if I put my loot leader back on, you know, it turns more of, you know, those spaces in between become filled with the brown color of the loot leader. I put my fish hoodie on, you know, that lights up green now. And so, well, it doesn't, you know, light up. I used the wrong terminology there, but you know what I mean.
It brings it out more. It
shows through. Yeah. So I don't know. I could get behind it. I like these camo netting skins, and especially with the being a poncho and all. I'm all for it. I think it's cool. Good job.
So let's move on to our new thing that we want to incorporate to our videos from now on. Do you want to take it away, or should I give it a shot?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna return to my my standard dress appearance here.
Right.
So yeah, what we've been doing now lately is you know, and I guess I'll do a little lead in here to an explanation. We did this last week as sort of a trial. We're gonna do it this week a little more formally. But as an explanation, what we've been doing is, you know, each week we do these showcases, and I have written a tool that just goes in the Steam API and grabs all the skins and some other data about them that we then use to do our analysis. And one rather interesting way of performing the analysis, just taking an angle at looking at the data, is to sort the list by the number of favorites. So, and if you go into the Steam Workshop, and I would encourage each of you out there to go do this if if you want to. But if you own Rust, you can go on and vote yes or no. If you want something to be in the game, you can provide your feedback that way. And I don't believe you need to own Rust to favorite an item.
You do.
So
you do.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
So
actually, I think you need to vote. I'm not sure about favoriting, but voting 100%.
So to vote, you need to own Rust.
Yes.
But just to add something to your favorites does not require that you own Rust. So on account of that, this data isn't necessarily the most reliable, or it's not really actionable. Like, we can't say like, okay, this has 1,000 favorites, it's guaranteed to get in. FaceBunch may or may not use this or refer to this data when making the decision about what to accept. So really, this doesn't tell us a whole lot, other than we could draw some conclusions roughly about what is enjoyed by the community. So we can't have 100% confidence, but we could roughly approximately say if an item has a lot of favorites, it's well liked by the community. So we saw last week, we showed the Rainbird's streamer skin rug.
Yes.
That had a large number of favorites, but it's also gotten a lot of exposure and a lot of promotion. And so you have to take into account some of the shortcomings to this method when really considering what the data might mean. But it is interesting to see the list sorted by number of favorites. And so that's what we've done.
But what we should just quickly reiterate was that whole showing off skins last week, that was not in the video last week. We did that for the stream. So that was a nice test run. Now we're going to actually incorporate this. So, yep, continue, Mr. MICRØ.
So, yeah, we've done that officially this week. We've got our list here sorted by number of favorites. I ran this report just an hour or two ago, so the numbers are pretty close to up to date. I can't guarantee that at this second they'll match exactly what I'm saying. And certainly if you're watching this after the fact, all bets are off. But as of a very recent snapshot, here's what the list looks like. So starting with the skin with the highest number of favorites this week, we have a sleeping bag here. And let's see, I should have the list in front of me. This is called the Life Indicators sleeping bag, with a very nice number of favorites here of 69. That's a pretty high number compared to the other items on the workshop this week. So he may have been doing a little bit to promote this to get exposure for it, but it's pretty cool. It takes, it plays on the standard health bar indicators that we have in the game, the familiar green, blue, and orange things there. And that's pretty much how my health bar usually looks. Not quite full, usually pretty hungry, and fortunately I'm not too thirsty today, but it's pretty cool. It's a simple idea, but at the same time it's like familiar to everybody, and it's well done. It's a nicely textured and stitched together, and the concept immediately translates there. So I think I can understand why this is the highest, most favorited skin of the week.
And the added thing, nicely self-referential to Rust. Like, it's a direct reference to Rust and the bars. So, like, we do like to see things that are kind of a joke towards what we actually have from the game. So, yeah.
So, Freddy and Krueger, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one just based on the high number of votes. But again, there's no guarantee that number of votes means anything at all. It's just crowdsourced opinion that's subject to a bit of influence. So we can only be so firm about drawing conclusions. But let's move on here to the number 2 item on the list in terms of favorites this week. It is the control panel locker, wonderfully modeled by Cubist. Very industrial looking. Looks almost like a piece of switch gear you might see in a transfer station or a generation station, and then he's got these computers and like a a waveform readout up here. Very cool looking skin. It's got a nice glow in the dark look to it. It's got the 3D modeling he's done to put the features on here, all the buttons and dials and gauges, all really, really nicely done. So I give this one, pretty high marks in terms of the execution here. Very well done, cleanly laid out, and very intricate design that fits with Rust. It looks like kind of dated equipment. It looks like it's been exposed to some years of use and maybe abuse. And I like it. I would love to see this one get in. Very cool. Very cool. And
go on.
It's got a nice glow. I mean, I love all glows. We saw that very highly glowing garage door this week. That looks cool. But this has a very realistic type of glow. It's toned down just to where the buttons and the dials glow, and yeah, super cool.
MICRØ, does
yes,
this have the
yes,
does this have the specs to be able to play Rust? I'm just wondering. I wonder if I can, just
good question. Great question. I'm not quite sure what kind of computational power is contained here. I mean, it's pretty big, right? So maybe there's a big chip in there.
All right. Shall we move on to the third?
Moving right along. I don't know if I mentioned that one had 35 votes.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
yep.
35 volts, 35 votes for the control panel, and also 35 votes for the fake shop metal door.
Yes.
And wow, pretty interesting. You know what, Hedge? I didn't give you a chance to get a word in over here. I just ran my mouth for a while. Did you have anything to add there?
You said everything I would have said. I got my joke in. I'm happy. All right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, moving along, 35 votes is the fake shop metal door by Evgen Brow. I'm taking my best guess at the name there. And obviously, very clearly, this is modeled after our vending machine that we have in the game.
The default one?
And yeah, the default skin here. And why don't I just pop one of those down just for laughs? I'll stick it right there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I should have gotten rid of this bunny box. I don't know why I have the bunny box out. I was using that for setting up during the stream, and I just left it there. That was my bad.
It's his favorite box.
No relation.
It's his favorite box.
It was my go-to box for today. So
it's his favorite
anyway, we can obviously see where he gets the design from. Very close match, very similar looking. I don't know if he ripped the texture straight out of the game files. I don't think he did. But no shame in that either way. I mean, it still has to convert it to the 3D object here that we see. And one thing I found to be interesting is that he's got the door shape with the proper texture and everything to resemble the vending machine, but the text is backwards. And then if you look at the door from this side, where the text is forwards, the vending machine is backwards.
Yep.
So I don't really have a way to explain that, and maybe it was an intentional design choice or maybe just an oversight, because that can happen. One reality of modeling Rust skins is that you have to mirror everything in your software in order for the text to appear correctly. So
he's got to
one challenge.
Flip it again.
Have to
flip the flip.
Yeah, he could do a V2 or maybe it's fine. I mean, one thing that's unavoidable on the sheet metal door is that the texture is mirrored on the other side.
Yes.
So it's going to have to be face forward on one and backwards on the other. That's the game.
So I did make a joke. It's really pushing it, but maybe they had to really put a double down in making it look fake to have it as a very clear fake, as in fake door. But yeah, by all accounts, it just looks like the font's just on the wrong way round. Like,
yeah, maybe. Maybe it's an attempt at making it somewhat ambidextrous, because it's the model itself is correct from this side and the text is backwards, and then over here the text is correct but the model's backwards. So maybe it's just an attempt at making it a little bit more distributing that backwardsness across both sides of the skin. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Hard to
So
say.
you mentioned that the other skins are in here, correct?
Well, there's one other. There's two other skins on the list. One of them is in there for you to show off. The other one we've actually already showed, so it's not a full 5 items on the list. But then I guess we should just go through the other honorable mention items, if you want.
So first of all, shall we point out what this this gun right here is?
Sure. So this is the Bone Breaker SAR, which is a close 4th with 33 votes. This is made by Horror Meow.
Mm-hmm. Continuation of the
And-
Bone Breaker collection. If you can remember, the Crossbow was accepted for the first roster rotation of 2023. And then we had an AK that was made but wasn't accepted. So yeah, that is a nice continuation to see.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even notice that. We should have marked this as a continuation to show off for the week. We didn't.
I just realised that.
That's my fault. I'm glad you pointed that out. So,
It's all right. We showed it, didn't we? We showed it.
We didn't show it during the stream, did we?
Well, we have
We're
now.
showing it now.
Yeah, we're showing it now. So
Yeah.
here we are. You know,
So-
there we go.
That's a happy accident. Good observation there, Hedge. This is definitely a continuation. And
If you could stand still, good sir, I could give us a nice quick pan around. But as you can see, it's again a fairly grounded idea. It seems to be like welded metal on the side.
It's
with-
got like a mesh. It's got like a mesh over what looks like a wood body.
I'm trying to find the bones. There's no bones in this one. I expected bones. My bone lust is not being quenched. There's some broken bones there, but I was expecting more. But yep, just thought best to quickly point that out, Mr. MICRØ. But yep, it's all good. No worries. So how many votes did this have again?
33.
33. Wow. Not votes, favourites. My apologies.
Favorites. Yeah.
I'm,
Very good. Very
Yeah.
correct. And that is an important distinction to make here. We're not showing votes.
Yeah.
What we're reporting here is the number of favorites. So
and then number 5 is a skin that we've already shown off, isn't it?
that's the comics jacket.
So, yeah.
we showed that a few minutes ago. Also 33 votes. And that was made by Legacy. And
Then we
I don't
have
think we need to re-show that, but we got
This-
5 more.
yeah, we got the honourable mention. So the idea from here is to only really show off the top 5 most favoured skins, and then the remaining 5 of the rest of the top 10, I guess you could say, we will just have them in our lovely honourable mentions box. And Mr. MICRØ, if you can talk your way through the rest of them.
I mean, we already saw the JPEG large box, which is starting to form into its own little sub collection. So we had the guns box, and now we've got the sulfur box, and another item we've already seen. Oh, I'll mention that's GBG's
Yes.
JPEG set with 30 votes or
Yep.
30 favorites. And after that is Mishka's Camouflage Net Poncho, which we just saw, with a 29 vote tally. And then after that is this noise isolation garage door made by JJ with 29 votes.
Favourites.
Pretty cool looking. Yes, thank you for correcting me. I think it's kind of a simple design, but it's pretty cool. And, you know, as streamer culture continues to evolve, we just become more familiar seeing content creators and streamers on screen, and a lot of them have gotten to the point in their streaming setups where they're doing noise isolation in their rooms and stuff. So that might be a cool thing you want to put in your base. Definitely has an interesting texture. Pretty simple, but
Quieten the
pretty cool at the
screams in
same
your
time.
base. Yes.
yeah, and muffle all that noise coming from inside my 1x1 with a heart rug. And did I mention that had 29 votes?
Made by
And I'll
JJ.
segue- Yep. And as did this space rug made by Mama with 29 votes. And lastly on the list, we've already showed Andre's Wasteland pickaxe, which had 26 favorites.
Yes,
So
it had more favourites than the hatchet. I thought that was a bit silly, but yep. I mean, it is a bit odd.
I mean, they're close. The hatchet had 22, I think, where this had 26. So
yeah.
they're they're close together. So I think it's an interesting snapshot or cross section of the Rust workshop to maybe look at these each week to remind ourselves like what's getting traction, because we do show the workshop continuations. We show the Rust item store items. We don't really have enough time to show all of the amazing skins that get submitted every week. And besides, Mr. TGG does a fantastic job doing that each week to show off the top picks that he comes up with. He makes a big list and does a lot of work to qualify all these skins. So we're actually sort of making use of his hard work, and establishing a timing for people to submit things. And that timing works for all of us, just to stay organized and to see what's coming down the pipeline. Of course, we do our own analysis and data collection process, which is separate from that and is the list that we work from each week. But that list is really based around identifying continuations and making some anticipations about how that might influence the skin market or existing items out there on the market. So we've been doing that for a while, and that is nice information to have. But I think this might also be a sort of a valuable insight to review what exactly is getting the most attention out there, whether that's genuine or manufactured attention. Isn't really part of our analysis. We have no way to differentiate that, but it is interesting to see the ones that emerge just with the highest number of votes, because it's not uncommon for skins that get accepted throughout the week to have a sizable number of votes. And I'll just quickly recite down the list. This week's store items: the Lover's Arrow Garage Door had 42 favorites. The Small Chocolate Box had 14. The Heart Rug had 23. Infinity Love Sap was 15. The Kiss AR had 46 favorites. Love Deluxe MP5 had 15. The Lovely LR had only 6. And the Lovestruck set had a combination of favorites all in the high 20s, 26, 29, 27.
So, favorites don't seem to really have that much of an influence, it seems like.
Well, it's you're right. It's not a guarantee. It does not determine the outcome of skins getting in. I'm sure it's viewed as a data point, but it's one that's pretty subject to influence or even manipulation if you wanted to, if you were so inclined. So I do believe that is regarded just as a reference point and not necessarily a deciding factor in what gets accepted. But if you go back through the stores from even just this month, Stepan's Dungeon Garage Door had 64 favorites. The No Mercy DB had 29. The Wasteland SAR had 39. It's not uncommon for stuff that gets accepted to also have a high number of favorites for the week. So if we kind of flip that and look at it from the other angle, you could maybe draw a connection to say, well, if the stuff in the store oftentimes does have a high number of favorites, then maybe we look at the things that have a high number of favorites and make some inferences from that data. And again, there's no way to draw a firm conclusion. It's really just an angle of analysis, but we'll do this for a while and we'll see how the numbers shake out. If there's something on our top 5 or top 10 list from next week, maybe it wouldn't come as a big surprise to see that.
Yes, Meta. So, if it was all based on favorites, the whiteout boots and jacket would have been accepted. You are correct. That would have happened. So yeah, I mean, not a bad shout right there, but it's a nice extra perspective to just kind of get a good idea of like how skins perform and whatnot. But it is quite funny to point that out. One of these skins that were accepted this week, the LR300, only had 6 favorites. 6 favorites. But yet, still managed to get accepted. So clearly it's there's definitely, I guess you could say, evidence of a personal choice, a personal taste to whoever is picking out all of these skins and then being accepted into the Rust store. So, hey, I used to sit there and watch the Trello. I used to see them do the votes themselves. It was interesting, but they stopped doing that since like 2018. So, unfortunately, yeah, they don't do that anymore. So,
Now, remember, as you follow the path of a creator through the workshop, they might start off with just a small handful of followers. And so for newer creators, that vote tally will approximately correlate with the number of followers that they have, I think. And, for people who have been around for a long time, they just have a larger opportunity to get their skins in front of people. And so just that relationship by itself stands out to me as something that's going to influence the numbers and has to be taken into consideration. But I will point out, though, having just said that this week's skin that had, let's see, only 6 votes at the time I collected this was made by FaZe, and he's been around the workshop for a long time. So he certainly has quite a following, I would expect. In fact, I could check that right now. He has 289 workshop items, 767 followers, and the majority of his items are Rust skins. So he's been around the workshop for a long time making skins. He's certainly got quite a few skins accepted. I can't really account or explain for why that skin only has 6 favorites, but again, maybe it boils down to the demand of the LR in game, and well, we'll just have to sit here with these numbers each week and form our own conclusions about how valuable this favorite count really is. So we're not really doing anything with the data right now except just making a habit out of looking at it and seeing what kind of patterns emerge.
well,
so we're all along this journey together here doing this, and we'll see how it pans out.
if you have ideas, I guess we could ask the chat themselves. If you have ideas in ways in which we could, make good use of that, feel free to offer a message. Feel free to suggest anything. But at the moment, this was something that we thought of in terms of maybe we should bring this up to people and whatnot. Maybe it could be a thing that we do maybe once every month or so, Mr. MICRØ. We probably just need to figure out how it's done and where and when we could probably best present it. But if you do enjoy this, feel free to point this out. And if you think more things could be said, feel free to keep mentioning it or whatever. So, MICRØ, I believe we've gone through every single skin now. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Go vote on the workshop.
Yes, that is helpful. And comment.
Yeah, go through
comment. Say nice things to those skin creators and say hello and say maybe you could, if you have feedback, if you think, right, this is a cool looking skin, but I reckon they could probably just make a little change here, maybe change the colour, maybe not so much colour, just tell them, offer your opinion. That skin might not 100% be accepted, but they could take your feedback in, incorporate it into version 2, and then maybe that gets accepted, and you'd know that you said the right things to help them get their skins accepted. So, it's nice, it's helpful, it's communication, and a lot of skin creators would greatly appreciate it. So please consider doing that. And MICRØ, thank you very much for the help today. I do appreciate it. That was a lot of skins today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a long one today.
It was a long one today.
A lot of continuations.
It's definitely a long one.
Extension with our new little program here. So
yeah, right then. So thank you very much, Mr. MICRØ. Thank you very much. Do you want to give us a wave? And chat, thank you very much for watching. Remember, you can always look in the description for links to the likes of my Twitter and my Discord and whatnot. So yeah, thank you all. MICRØ, what are you doing? MICRØ, what are you doing?
I'm over here on my cozy heart rug.
I thought he was going to be naked.